I know. It's too early, I know. What am I? For 3 minutes ahead of time? That's never happened. Well, that must be on travel, which would be pretty cool. Hello, guys, and welcome. I think we're up and running. This is going to be a brand new weird experience because it's a different machine, different operating system. I had to reset up OBS up and everything, and hopefully everything will work. Oh, echo. Okay. Is there an issue? It's good. I wanted to do a sound check. Does it work? Does it sound all right? Because everything is different right now. See what the latency is like as well. Okay, looks and sounds fine. That's weird. It was a sudden start. No sounds good. I thought you said no sound is good, which is probably good. You can just click on mute. Sounds good, sounds good. Great. It's working. Lower the sound. Yeah, just turn that knob. What's up? This. Actually, I'm going to move that chat over a little bit. Also, does it stream okay? My preview is only showing... let's see. It's giving me a warning here. Oh, bitrate is lower than recommended. Okay, I'll upgrade it then. Let's bump it up. Video 10K, 10 megabits. Should I stream it? Yeah, perfect. Let's try it. Can I do that on the fly? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, the background music is louder. Well, that's good. I've reset up OBS. I can turn that down a little bit. So let's go down to minus 12. Maybe that's better. Let's try that. And I should probably speak at the same time. Just getting everything set up. We've got 1 minute to go before the stream starts. Well, it's already started. So. I think I've turned it down a little bit now, the music. A tad. So hopefully it should work. Okay, so the stream's current bitrate, 10 megabits, is lower than recommended. How much does it want me to stream it then? We recommend that. Okay, so the current stream bitrate of 10,000 kbps is lower. You should use 9,500 kbps. Well, I'm on higher, so come on. Okay, the music is still loud. Let's turn it down even more. Minus 16 point, or 17. Let's go all the way down there. Is that better? I wonder. Let's try it out. Health is good. System health, good. Stream status, good. I'm feeling good. Hope you're good as well. So I keep looking at the chat here. That sounds better. That's a better mix. Perfect. Hello and welcome everyone. It's Thursday again. And why is it so warm in here? That's a weird intro. Hello everyone and welcome. It's Thursday and I'm Infencia, and today we're going to try something totally different. I'm going to try Unreal Engine 5 for the very first time, and it could be a weird video. Everything could go wrong. Everything probably will go wrong, and if you've got something else to do, yeah, you should consider that, because this could be a slow one, I'm afraid. I'm only joking. No, I'm not actually. It's perfectly true. But you can stay and let's hang out and try this together. I was thinking it could be good to see someone who's not used the Unreal Engine at all, but I have used Unity very much. So hopefully, like, I'll be able to see or show how I think when I try something new out. And I'm not totally 100,000% fresh, because about 3-4 years ago I launched Unreal Engine 4 because I needed to get some assets in there, but I only imported audio files and like sort of published them to the sound market, and also my 3D space boxes. But it was like virtually so long ago, well, practically as well, and in real life, so can't remember anything of it. So we're gonna see. Failure is an option. It's always an option when I'm around. That's the way I like it. And let's try the stream out as well. So I've set this up too now, and I'm streaming it at 1440p. Usually I've got the little cropped corner up in the right corner on my screen, which is 1080, but I wanted to experience Unreal in a little bit bigger format today. So I hope that works, but it should downscale okay, I think, to 1080 as well. But I'll give just double check that everything works for that. So we've got, sorry, I'm ignoring. If you want to put a comment to me, do @Infancia, because then it pops up in orange. I was going to say yellow, but it isn't. It pops out in orange, so I can see it. So it's pretty cool. And Ola Jetgrove is here. Hello, Arvid. We got Einstein, Jen Abbott, Mikael. Oh, my voice cracked. Avocadify, all the usual suspect, and a lot more. Jim Engström. I visited Jim in real life the other day. It was great. I hadn't been there for like, what, a year? Well, half a year. So it was nice. We hung out, had a hamburger, and talked a lot about just random stuff that we used to do when I grew up as well. Super cool. Sorry if I didn't mention everyone, but give me a shout. And we got Caleb Storm. I can't even read it. Anyway, I've enlarged the font a little bit. Still can't see. You got me, bro. Cool. Probably need some help. And first impressions of Windows 11. It's weird to see the bar down here for a change. It feels tremendously much smoother. Something was wrong with my previous PC. Something was seriously wrong. It was like slow loading. There was something to do with the Explorer. That was maybe it was a plugin. I tried to disable them, but something really slowed down my PC. So just opening a browser window took a long time, and also had a shaky C drive. If you've ever had that, I don't know. It was a really fast, like M1 is an M2 drive, those integrated SSD on the PCI bus, but it's probably not on the PCI bus anyway. But it's on the motherboard. And I had problems with it. It corrupted files. So it was like if a file was laying around for a certain amount of time, it corrupted itself. Pretty practical. It's like archiving itself. Unfortunately, I couldn't copy it anywhere else then. So I really wanted to switch PC for a while, and finally done it. So I'm going to try Windows 11 here. Everything feels super smooth. Maybe the biggest difference is that all the things are a little bit rounded now. So we've got like little, like if I do Notepad here, then all the corners are a little bit rounded like this. Feels a bit weird. Well, I like it, I guess. I like square stuff instead. Cool. Let's go. All right, so today, like I said, we're going to try Unreal Engine. So we're going to hang out, have a good game dev time here. 183 concurrent viewers. Is this some sort of a popular topic or something? Everyone wants to go Unreal, and then you look at someone who's never used it before to check it out. Let's try it out. All right, so with that said, is it just me, or is the background music a little loud? It's probably just you, Emiliano. No, it's probably not. I've turned it down a few times. I could turn it down a little bit more. I'm just, for anyone who's just joining here now, I've just reset up everything on this machine now. So all the volumes, all the OBS streaming, everything. Music too loud, please. Okay, I've turned it down now. Hopefully that should be better. I'll turn it down more. Let's go -20. Now you probably can't hear it at all now. How about that? You just have to put up with my voice instead. Okay, now it should be lowered. It got a bit of latency on stream status. Excellent. Let's go. So I've installed Epic Launcher here. Epic Games Launcher. Unreal Engine 5. So I'm just going to react to this as I start it, and we'll see how it goes. So I've got, I'm not very familiar with this. I usually use the Unity Hub, but I've figured out so far anyway that it's got like a new section and stuff. So I'm going to go launch up here, Unreal Engine 5.0.0. Pretty cool that it just launched. I was going to try the beta version, but I didn't. Hussein SE, love you, Infancia. Well, thank you. Is that why you respond to that? I don't know. But thanks, I appreciate it. Oh, and Gisela, you can still hear the music. That's good. Ooh, we got Nico Shift 9, or Bracket 9, not Bracket. Staket. It's called #9. So thank you very much for the kind contribution. I really appreciate it. I was about to try UE5 tonight. Perfect timing. Thank you so much. So instead of you trying it, you're going to have me try it. Interesting. I appreciate the super chat. Very kind of you. Drop music a lot more. I've turned it down already. Okay. Now it's down to -25. Okay. Let me know. Give me another shout if it's too loud. Let's go. I've lowered it like 15 dB now. All right, so we've got this launcher thing, and I guess I want to start a blank project. I want to go in totally fresh, and I don't know, have a first thing or clue about C++. Well, I do have a first clue. I know there's a lot of pointers. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. You can hang up your PC, and I don't really know so much of that programming. I'm a C# guy as well, even though my blurry vision is insane, but Blueprint it is. Target platform, desktop sounds good. Maximum, I guess, quality sounds okay with me as well. Should I start with ray tracing? No, not yet. I'll go with the default options. And here we go. Interesting. I'm just gonna react, like, I'll do it fresh as a daisy. So blank I could go first person. I've never done a first person shooter in my life. I don't know why. It's probably because I get motion sick, so I do know why. That was a lie. So now the music is okay, everything could settle in. I've even prepared myself with a cup of coffee, so you should glass of water in case I get my voice cracks up more than usual. Anyway, so first person shooter I'm not going to do. Third person, it's pretty cool. Top down, one of my favorite vehicles. Okay, so I'm going to go for probably a top down. I was thinking the most practical starter example to do, I usually do like a capsule and a platformer, but for this one I think I'm going to do a simple spaceship in Blender. I'll use my palette and I'll import it and see if I can do like just a little top-down thing where I move it around with blueprints and shoot it. I have no clue. Thank you very much, Swiper. Also a super sticker here. Keep it up. Thanks. I'm going to try. Appreciate the kind donation there. Very nice. So, all right. Let's see. Oh, we got that. Might as well use my real name. Swipe. Is that you, Swiper? No. Ascend said that. All right, cool. So, like a fourth person shooter. That'd be cool. Yeah, well, I guess they all aren't. It's like, what? Oh no, that's fourth dimension. Anyway, I'm gonna go top down. Let's have a look. And I think I'm gonna, here, you guys might know this, but I'm, when it comes to Unity, I usually use GitHub or something, or we use Microsoft Azure. So I was thinking I was gonna create something like this and see if I can add it later on, but I'm gonna add UE5 here for all my Git repository, and then I'm just gonna, maybe I'll just try that. So I should probably name it something as well. I don't know if I create a hierarchy of folders that I don't need now, but we're gonna do UE5 top down shooter. So UE experts now will go, you don't do that. Well, I do that, and I probably do it wrong. Down shooter, top down shooter. I don't know if you can have spaces in, probably. Create, let's go for it. So Unreal Engine has some sort of Git integrated, interesting. So I use LFS, don't know if or is that for the large files? I don't actually have bulky art assets. So interesting, in Unity I don't, oh, I have to do this. In Unity, I go low poly, so none of our assets, probably the biggest files in Unity for us is the music files, which aren't even that big to begin with, so. All right, okay, so content, okay, this is feeling super weird to me. The UI looks very different from what I think I remember from Unreal Engine 4, and I like it. They've gone pretty much exactly the same way from what I can tell that Unity went as well. A simpler, dark, of course, dark tone I like, and it feels like all the information is much more accessible now. I hope this comes across in the stream okay, because it's a bit small on my screen. And I'm getting a question off screen here. Project file is out of date. Would you like to update it? Well, okay, I guess so. I just installed the thing. How can it be outdated? Okay. Yeah, UI is pretty. Can you see the UI? Can you even see this when you, do you even lift? Can you see this? General, actor, I can't even see it. So summon the content browser in a collapse. Okay, so control space brings up some sort of a content drawer. Okay, ooh, I like this already. It feels super fresh and like clean. I need the glasses though. So we've got interesting. We've got a bunch of assets here. So I'm gonna get a sore neck just looking at the side like this. So level prototype, and I guess this is content. So I have to figure out, is this stuff that's in the scene? I probably want to pin this content. I should be able to dock in layout. Okay, I'll try that. So, all right, go full screen. This is full screen for me. Why is it? I thought I just docked the thing. Didn't I? No. So, oh yeah, I was looking at the stream window. Okay, so I can left click to select. That's always nice. Zoom in. Alt. Oh, that's good. I reckon. Okay, so you don't have to hold the Alt key. Middle mouse button. Oh, interesting. Okay, they've reversed the panning from what I'm used to. I click there, drag to the right, and it moves to the right. That feels super weird. Usually it's like click here, drag left to go, like you slide the thing. But I guess you can customize that if you want. I don't know if I should Let's see if I can actually change that. Editor preferences, let's have a look. So switch on source control. Can I do that in here? Probably. So this is super small. I wonder if I can bump up the UI text slightly so you can see. So active theme, dark. And there is only dark theme. Now we're talking. I like this already. Enable high DPI. Okay, that sounds good. But can I scale the UI? That's always interesting. So log font size, grid stuff. All right, there's a lot of settings here. Audio, blueprint editor. Okay, I don't really need all that stuff. But it would be interesting to see if I can scale it slightly, because it does feel like, even for using it locally, it feels too small, a little bit too small. Advanced, is it advanced to zoom? No. Use small toolbar icons. Okay, let's try that. Is it updating on the fry? On the fry? No, probably not. Oh yeah, it's up there. Okay, so it just takes away the text. Log font size. All right, let's see. General appearance. All right, I'm not going to spend too much in here, I guess. Just wanted to see. You can probably. Here we go. Invert. Look there. Invert middle mouse pan. I'm probably going to do that actually myself. Can I just close this? Yeah, now it's more what I'm used to. So I click here and drag to the right to move to the left. Makes sense. Ha. All right. So let's go for it. So this is imported a few things. I'm gonna go fresh, I guess. So let's see, outliner. I guess that's the equivalent of an inspector. No, it's not. It's the equivalent of the hierarchy. So here's the equivalent of the project in Unity. I'm guessing, like you can see what sort of stuff is here. Maps, I'm guessing, is a little bit similar to. Okay. Ooh, this is confusing. Cursors, okay. I'm guessing I get. Do you know what? I might. I think I'm going to start one without any content at all. Oh, we got Abdullah Hamud. Thank you so much for your kind contribution from Norway. Nice, 219. Sweet. Much appreciated for that super chat. If you want to say something, you can do at as well. And Programman 2. Sorry, I was late. What's your plan? My plan is just to figure out how Unreal Engine 5 works. And I'm just getting a little bit customized. So I figured out so far that when you come into a project, content browser seems to be equivalent to the project in Unity, where you've got all your stuff that's not in a scene. Well, it could be in the scene. And then on the right here, this outliner. It feels like it's like the outliner in Blender, or in Unity, it would be like the hierarchy. So this is what's in my scene. I can click here, apparently. Interesting. And I'm just going to show you how I would have done it myself, but I probably would have spoke a lot less if I was on my own. At least out loud. So here I can select a few things, and details. This is the equivalent of the inspector. So I'm guessing I can just slide this to move it. Yeah. So these are like the transform in, well, it's even called transform here as well. That sounds good. You can rotate it. Fine. Static mesh. Okay. So that's the mesh it's using, but it's rescaled it. All right. What is this music genre? It's absolutely interesting. I don't know. I just went to, what's it called? Epidemic Sound. I get my stuff for them. I've got an account there, and I just downloaded the podcast music and then I just randomized it. So it could be anything. I didn't even pre-listen to them, so it's good to go anyway. I'm going to turn it up a bit myself so I can hear. All right, so control spacebar content browsers. Yeah. Ooh, okay, but I've already pinned it here now, so let's go for it. Okay, so okay. We've got a volumetric cloud. So there's some things here. We've got I like this space box. It's got like a procedural sky by the looks of it. With are these clouds that I could go sky sphere? Okay, is this a fixed screen? I want to have a look. Can I change like the time of day or something? Let's have a look. Scrolling a little bit here. Okay, there's a lot of different settings here anyway, that's for sure. Sky sphere, advanced. Create a blocking volume. Don't want to do that. Movable. A lot of advanced stuff here. Bake materials. Don't want to do that. I was thinking, I wonder if I could change like that. Is there sun somewhere? Or a directional light? Here we go. Directional light is here. So if I rotate. Okay, so E is rotating. And oh yeah, nice. So we've got. There is like a procedural So this is lovely. I like the atmosphere it creates. So E to rotate, R to scale, and W to move. What do we think about that, Blender folks? That's I'm gonna Alt F4 this thing right now. Like unacceptable. But it does use the same as Unity. So, but how can you not do R to rotate, R to scale? How weird is that? Do @Infansia to send tips yet? All right, so I'm probably gonna miss a lot of the tips here. So Control L to rotate light. Let's try that. Control L. All right, okay, nice. Okay, so Control L. Oh, okay, so I hold that and then I hold the Control key. Interesting. So Control L just once doesn't do anything, but hold, Control, hold, click L and hold the key. Nice, like that. Well, I have to say that look at the clouds even up there, and the way. Oh, there we go. There's the sun. Well, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. Control L. It's gonna be my new favorite thing. We're gonna be rotating like. See how it's even affecting. Is that shadows on the clouds? I'm guessing it is. Yeah, it's shadowing on the clouds. I was just a little bit confused about this shadow stripe there. Why? What's casting that shadow? Oh yeah, it's hitting here, shadowing there. Nice. Like it. All right. W to move, E to rotate, and R to scale. Sorry, Mia PC. Hold down hold down right mouse button and use WASD to fly around the scene like in game. Okay, let's do it. Hold down the right mouse button. W. Oh, nice. I'm gonna learn every program like this. Every time I learn a new program now, I'm gonna go. Oh, Infansia does a live stream. A total noob tries something out for the first time, and then I have like 286 concurrent people trying to help me, and I miss most of the cool tips. E is for egg. Probably cabbage. All right, Blender is. I'm going to do something in Blender in a bit. I'm going to have to import something that I've always reacted when I've looked at content that comes out of Unreal Engine compared to Unity is that everything, like the anti-aliasing and the shader, everything feels. I don't know how to even express it. It feels a little bit more detailed, or not detailed. That's not. It feels smoother. So that contradicts what I just said. All right. So. Which engine do you like more? Well, I have no idea how much I'm gonna like. I mean, I'm a total noob when it comes to Unreal Engine, so I'm just having a look around to see if I can get a spaceship in from Blender. I was gonna do today, so we're gonna be here for a few hours. So if you got any plans, you better call up and cancel them right now. And whoever was in school, we had Starfighter, was it? You were in school or something? You can come back and join. Maybe I figured out how to place a block down. But so I think. Unity's like I've always considered it to be. You can do anything in Unity for any platform, which is super cool. And I've felt like Unreal Engine in my mind has been. It's got a lot of built-in stuff for stuff that you probably want to do, so you don't have to do it yourself. So I'm really looking forward to trying out some blueprints to get like a character to run around at some point. That's going to be too much for me to do today, so I'm going to start simple. But now, thanks Mia, I'm like obsessed with just moving around with holding the right mouse button now. We've got a game here. We don't. All right, so here we go. We're gonna figure out a little bit more. I wanted to see, like, I'm guessing you can customize the clouds, of course. So I'm gonna go for the sky atmosphere. Is that it? So I'm gonna figure out here atmosphere height. Okay, that's cool. You can change something there. The clouds are moving. That's cool. Oh, we got Riley scattering. That's good. If anyone wondering why I'm a little bit curious about this, is because I did my procedural planets. If you haven't seen those, they're used from outer space, or they're viewed from outer space, my planets. And to get the atmosphere around a planet, you have to use these Riley scattering, and there's also some me scattering here, exactly. And those also affect the way the atmosphere looks from outside of space. So let's say you have like a sun, like our sun, coming up from the other side of the planet. Then it's how the light passes through the atmosphere. So probably no one's interested even about that, but I just thought I'd mention it anyway. So we've got okay, so you can customize these things. Just one thing I wanted to see, and that was clouds I wanted to see. So color picker we're going to get rid of, and I've already changed my mind that I've changed a few things here. So let's see, rendering light mass. So we've got light shafts, cool. That didn't do anything for me, apparently. Not that either, but it probably does something. Light shaft bloom. All right, bloom scale. See, this is what I mean. It's got a lot of stuff built in like this, which is pretty cool. Stuff that you probably want to do, so you don't have to code your own shaders for it. But I know Unity has that, of course, as well, but I don't know how much. So here we go, clouds. Okay, scattering luminous. What happens? Okay, so that, oh, okay, that's not what I should be showing. Clouds cast shadows. Oh, okay, nice. That's a super cool thing. I wonder what the performance is like on them. Cast shadows on clouds, atmosphere, sunlight. Sorry if I'm like just going. I just literally wanted to see if I could change the cloud types here somewhere. World position, actor. So where is the advanced, of course? Pixel, blah 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 blah. Light function, none. All right, I might have to ask the audience here. Cooking. That's exactly what you'd expect. Actor can be damaged. So can we damage the atmosphere? I think we're doing a pretty good job at that already. With our fumes, pivot offset. Okay, maybe I won't. Okay, let's check out. Hello, Infancia. Hello, Akiro. It's in Outliner. It's called volumetric clouds. Okay. Oh, I was on the directional light still. Volumetric cloud. Here we go. Thanks for that tip. Advanced, of course. No. Pivot. Oh, I have to scroll up here. Here we go. Bottom. Nice. So who? Probably a lot of Cam TV said it. We got Marex EXE said it. Chris said it. Everyone said it. I should have looked there. Atmosphere gets ripped, I read, off the planet. Yeah, so that was cool. I like it. So we can change the altitude, and that also affects the type of clouds by the looks of it. We've got layer height here. Wow. Okay, that's cool. It looks a bit square in my mind, but okay. Got some other stuff here, and okay, I'm not going to do planet radius. That's the equivalent of Earth's radius in kilometers. I'm guessing this is in kilometers. So what happens if you want to do a planet that's much larger than Sweden? I don't know. Edit planet radius. Okay. So that was enough playing with that. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm probably going to start a fresh project, because I think even though I love the atmosphere of this beautiful sky, it's good for a first-person shooter, and I don't really do. If I'm going to do a top-down space shooter, I don't need a cool guy. Always need a cool guy, but I don't need that. So I might start fresh instead. So let's go. Let's actually close this one. Don't save. And let's launch it again. Epic. So I wonder if I could just wipe that somehow, but we'll figure it out. So you can type in values above the default. Ah, okay. Of course. I'll say, Kratos 1840, you will never go back to Unity once you try Unreal Engine 5. It's going back to Modo after using Blender 3.0. Okay. Yeah, I think I wish... I know the performance is there from C++, but I do wish I could have utilized my C# skills in Unreal Engine. But it's going to be interesting to see. I wanted to create something similar, like if I in Blender, no, not in Blender. If I do a super simple project in here and also do it in Unity, I think it'd be pretty cool to compare like a super simple platformer, a super simple shoot 'em up game, and a super a lot of super here, super simple thing. So I'm gonna go for a new one. So actually just delete this one. Can I delete it? Right click? No. How do you delete a project? Browse, open, cancel. Here. Okay. Recent projects. Show in Explorer. Delete key doesn't work. That's weird. Delete me! How can you not delete that? Alphabetical. Alright, okay. Let's start a blank one then. So, top down shooter. 2. Alright, let's go for it. Create. Oh, did I select blank now this time? There's no going back now. C++ is the only reason I never got serious with UE. Yeah, I know. Oh, Brainshack. Hello, nice to see you here. From the Epic. Oh, okay. I thought it was there. So, didn't I start a blank project? How is this a blank project? Minimal default. It looks super not default. I guess there's a few things I really need. So I'm gonna not need a chair for my space game. I don't need these floor things. I don't need the sky, so can I get rid of this? I'm gonna try getting rid of atmospheric fog. I don't need the sky sphere. Okay, we're heading into space now. I like that. Delete. Don't need the static meshes. Don't need this. Don't need the reflection cube. I don't think. I need a skylight. No, I need a directional light. Can I create a new one? Right click. How do I do that? How do I add a new thing? It's a bit difficult to navigate now. I have no clue where I am. It's very dark in here. Skylight. Let's get rid of that one. This is a directional light. It was called light source instead. Just so. Oh, sorry. I'm off screen here. Sorry about that. There we go. Was totally offset there. Control N. Okay, Control N. Was that to create a new? Okay, open world. All right. Okay, new level. Empty open world. Empty level. There we go. I don't need open world, so create. Save selected. No, I don't need to save it selected. Okay, nice. This is totally fresh now. Thank you. Arvid. Control N. People say yeah. So thanks. Thanks everyone. Damon and Jen and everyone. Or not. Well, Jen, you said about deleting the projects. Never mind. Thank you. So we've got this empty space here. How do I know where the center of the screen is? Or the center of the world? It's super, super faint here. There we go. This seems to be some sort of a center. Don't know why they bothered shading those lines. It's difficult to see where I am anyway. So how do I create a new object? Can I just insert like a default cube or something? Right click, place actor. I'm just testing stuff now, so pardon me. I don't want to create this blocking volume. I don't need trigger. I don't want camera actor. No. Okay, so I want to do actor up here. No. And content browser. No. Shift A doesn't work. Shift space. Control space. No, control space was this thing. All right. So that one was not usually in Unity. It would be like place a primitive thing. So it feels like it would have been an actor or something. All right, I'll consult this thing. Default cube. So window place actors. Okay, so window place actors. Level editor. Place actors. Okay, thank you. So, and then here we've got, I just want to create, so I'm guessing it would be, I don't want a character, don't want a pawn yet, I don't think. Here we go, cube. So, here we go. Can I right click and reset here or something? I always miss that. I want to have, there we go, reset. I like that. So here's a cube. Interesting with the light here. It just, I guess, is it because I don't have any light at all? Let's do light source, directional light. Yeah, that was why. So when there's no light source at all, it lit the whole thing up. Interesting. Control L I've already learned now. That worked. So we got a default cube here. Cool. That seems to work. And let's make... I think I'm gonna... Let's switch over rapidly to Blender and just do a super simple spaceship. So I can import something custom here. So we've got Blender 3.1.2. I'm going so new on everything here. Let's test this out. And I have to import my... I have to download my own texture. Because I switched PC, so it should be in my description. Let's go. Google. I have to Google my own YouTube channel as well. Fancy YouTube. It's funny how, like, Google is the fastest way to anything. And videos. I'll go to my own video. And then I'm going to click on my... So, I'm just doing it off on a different screen here, but I'm going to download my palette here. So, if you're looking for the palette... You should go to the description, download, and download it. So, what did you do? I watched a total noob learning Unreal Engine 5, and I taught most of the stuff that he needed to learn. That's what I spent my Thursday on. Nice. Don't need to be any... I'm gonna commit to deleting stuff that I've downloaded now, so I don't need the installers anymore. We've got my palette here. It's so fresh with a clean install here. Feels super nice. So I'm gonna extrude. Here we go. Here's my palettes. So in Blender, I'm gonna do something quick, of course. So I'll just go shading. This is a brand new one now. So I'm gonna drag in. Should I have the gradient or should I do this one? Let's go for the traditional old palette. There we go. Let's go for it. And then drag the base color in there. And then we're just gonna create a very simple spaceship now. So we'll go. I need a mirror modifier. And in that case, since this is a new installation, I need to enable these things as well. So add-ons. I'm not going to spend too much time in here because it's about Unreal 5 today. I just wanted to see how the import process goes. So we go auto mirror we want and loop tools. Those are the only two I really install or add. They're included by default. And now N, and we go edit and auto mirror. There we go. So let's go for it. Just create a very basic spaceship here. And I need to just do texture. I'll enable cavity, of course. I get a lot of questions about that, so I might as well enable it, go both, and ramp these up. And now let's see a super simple top-down shoot 'em up. Scale 0, and it's going to be a blue color. So we'll do Shift Space G. That's it. Am I showing what I'm doing? Yeah. E to extrude, S to scale, E to extrude, S to scale, and E to extrude, S to scale. And then we'll put some wings here. This feels a bit unnatural for me now, because Control R maybe. Drag that in. Should we do I to inset for a change? And E to extrude, S to scale. Should we do inverted? No, should not do inverted wings there. Bit of shape to them there. I'm going to do a super simple little silly thing. So maybe up with those. I'm going to do it like so it just looks all right from top down, so we can do some shooting or something. Control R maybe, and should we do scale? And maybe we'll put a little angle on this as well. Front view, rotate, G, Control plus, let's move the whole thing down. Control minus, rotate and go up. Scale it down. That should be all right. And I don't even know what I'm going to do. So I'll put some simple engines here as well. So Shift D, no, I'm going to do that one. Scale, scale Y. Okay, I don't want to do that. Hold this one, vertex, I'll do snapping. So I can snap this one to there. Hold the control key, snap that one to there. And scale Z0 to flatten it, E to extrude. Could have just created a cylinder instead, but never mind. So the most simple, this is probably the simplest thing I've ever done in here. Very primitive looking, but it goes with the quality of the project that I'm about to produce, I guess. Control R, scale X, Control R, scale Z. We'll make them a bit ovally. Scale X. Bring it down to there. Control R. Scale. Control R. Okay, I don't really know. It's there. I'm gonna do the inset. So X here and limited dissolve takes away those lines. I to inset. E to extrude. And extrude go dark there. And then we'll do some. Well, this is probably the ugliest spaceship I've ever made. So it feels like I just set the bar with my Unreal Engine skills suddenly. So my ability to model just mimicked it. But I'll do Control R. We'll have to just do some. That doesn't work. So we'll do, what should we do? A little cockpit thing here. Control R, and we'll do E to extrude, S to scale. Bring that in, move it forward. And maybe we'll raise that up too. Move this forward and go just B, boundary, Alt E, extrude long face normals. It just needs to be looking decent from above, I guess. Control R. Oh, this is what I don't like actually. I've apparently connected the wings, which I hardly ever do, to the actual spaceship. That sounds like a weird thing not to do. But we'll do the same here. X, limited dissolve, I to inset, E to extrude, Control plus, go dark there, and then we'll do, I'll just put some things here as well, should I? Shift space, and E to extrude. I don't know what this is, but let's just pretend it's meant to be here. E to extrude. Oh, okay. Scale. And I think I'm going to do it brighter, actually. I don't want to have it so dark. There we go. And here. Let's just put something stupid here as well. E to extrude. I don't know what this would be. And here. And E to extrude as the scale. I just want to put something that looks slightly different. I don't know what that would be. And Control R a few times. Let's just do these things. Hide that, the fact that it looks hideous by just doing something else. Go dark there or something. All right, so we can just put something on the wings here too, maybe. No, I don't even know what I should do. Scale it down. E to extrude, that's the scale. Control R, let's do some things here as well. I to inset, Alt E to extrude long face normals. And let's do a different color here, orange or something. All right, just want to have something super small like that from the top. Let's try that. So F2 spaceship. Spaceship-o. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I have no idea what axis Unreal, but it feels like they should be facing in the positive Y direction here, so I should probably rotate this. Scale Y -1. And then I think I've got back-facing. Back-face culling. Yeah, Shift N to flip those. All right, so let's try that. And the pivot point should be roughly there, I guess. Maybe a little bit further, so I'll move there. Rotate. Okay, let's go for that. Delete this one, delete that one. I'm gonna try to export this now. I'm probably gonna run into problems now with the way I UV'd it, but that's okay. Let's save this one. And I should keep this tidy. So I'll go documents for now. And UE5 spaceship. And there we go. And now I'm going to export it. File, export, FBX. And UE5 spaceship. Selected objects. I have no idea what to do here. Apply scalings. This is what I do for apply transform. I usually have to do in Unreal or in Unity. I don't know. Let's try that first of all, just to see what happens. So let's switch back into Unreal Engine and see what happens when I drag this thing in. So I've got documents and Blender spaceships.fbx. I have no idea. Can I do this just? Nope. Can I do that? Yeah. So it's asking me to import something. Skeletal mesh. No, don't need that. Transform. Yeah. So everything's all right. Convert to scene. Force front X. Okay. I don't know. Let's just try first. Import. Smoothing group not found in the FBX scene. Please ensure that what? Export smoothing groups. Option. Okay. I don't really use smoothing groups though. Even for tools that doesn't support smoothing tools, the FBX exporter will generate appropriate smoothing. Okay, why did they not just line break this thing? Do I have to read it like this? Right click, can I not? It's incredible. Even though, okay, blah, 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 blah. So, I didn't really read that properly. Okay, it looked all right so far already. So, it does seem like it's facing the wrong way though. Because the axis should probably face in the Y direction. Let's check out the chat actually. Sorry if I neglected everyone. To save some time, in fact, I could have used one of these 10 MMC spaceships. Yeah, that's true. to save some time, in Pensy I could have used. I could have, but I thought it'd be cool to just try to create something super simple so that's in the actual stream as well. So we've got the spaceship. I drag it in again and just wanted to see what happens. So scale-wise, let's click on this reset thing here. When I imported it, I just want to check it one more time. So force delete. Just wanted to see that option that I had one more time when I imported it. If I had convert scene unit true. I don't know if I need to do that. And force front x-axis. I just want to see what those two do. And what's in advanced here? Combine meshes we don't need to do. Just wanted to see what that import. Okay, we got degenerate tangent basis which will result in incorrect shading. Has some nearly zero binormals, which can create some issues. Okay, we've got some issues with my models here. I have heard people have been saying stuff like that it's not necessarily important straight away. There we go. So this one was no good either because it imported it wrong. So my conclusion now is delete. I'll go back into Unity and then I'm going to flip this again. Scale Y -1, Shift N to flip the normals. So it looks like it should be, even though that direction is there. Let's try that. Export FBX spaceship. Let's go back into Unreal Engine. Drag it in. I'm still gonna get those warnings probably, but let's untick those things that I did before. We had that one go. Yeah. I don't know what import versus import. So smoothing groups is the last thing I need to fix them. Now it's facing in the right direction. So let's reset. That's good. So it's facing there. Move. And forward is going there. Project file is up to date when I up to date. Okay. So one more thing I wanted to do, smoothing groups. I just wanted to see, is that because I've scaled those UV textures? I'm going to try. Let's see. Mia knows this probably. So X forward for easier programming with getting forward vector. Okay, so is X forward in Unreal Engine? That's a very important thing to know. So, oh yes, that's Darth Jandis. Okay, so X is forward in Unreal. Y is side to side and Z is up. Okay, wow. That is confusing. I would have never expected X to be forward. Incredible. What? So in Unity, we got Z is forward, Y is up, and X is left and right. Okay, X is forward in Unreal Engine. It's like having the select on right mouse button in my mind. Again, it should be probably not wise to throw a whole product away because they're using X as forward. But it does make an issue here, so I cannot use this one as there. So what happens again then if I import it? X is forward. X is forward. Force front. Okay, so when I did that, I'd get the degenerate tangent space again, result in incorrect shading. Degenerate. How unnat. Okay, so that is facing in the right direction now, or in the left one. That's good. But I think it could be that I've done this, so I'm going to do UV reset. Scale these down, scale them down. What happens if I just keep them at that size then? Will that be better? G, and then Alt, click on these edges here. I just wanted to have some different color variations here. And orange. Just wanted to see if this caused any difference in the behavior here. But I do probably want them to be even brighter here. So, spaceship, select, file, export, FBX. It's good that it can force the import axis though. I like that a lot. Let's see if that worked any better. Delete this thing, force delete, Blender, drag it in, and force X forward, whatever that was. Yeah, force front X axis, import all. Okay, so I still get no smoothing group was found in this FBX scene. Please make sure to enable the export smoothing groups. Okay, let's try that again then. Well, I don't think I've created any smoothing groups. Export FBX. So, bake animation, blah, 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 blah. Export smoothing groups. Export subdivision, what? Surface, no. Smoothing. Normals only. Face. Do I have to go face here? Okay, anyone know if to get, sorry, when exporting FBX? Okay, set smoothing to face. Thank you. Thank you, Team Omega Pi. 382 concurrent viewers. This is nearly setting a new record. That's incredible. Hello and welcome everyone, and welcome to watch me flapping about. That's a weird way to say it. In Unreal Engine to see if I can figure out from a total noob if I have any clue what I'm going to be doing. So let's drag that in, import all, and that's it. Thank you. So you change in the FBX. Note to self and to everyone else who's watching, if you watched all my videos, make sure when you export your FBX that you just do that thing. But that sort of means that this works, and I don't think that worked before, because check this out. If I do this, scale 0. Okay, never mind. I've already shown that. But, interesting that it didn't complain at least about that. You know, with the infinitely smaller. So let's go. How big is this thing now? This cube is here, and it feels the scale now. This is, I guess, a 1 meter cube. 1 meter, yeah. Or what? The scale is 1 here. Is this, what's the size? So in Unity, 1 meter is 1 unit. This feels not the case. It feels like, what's the unit? What's the unit stuff in Unreal Engine? How much is 1 unit here? Is that 1 centimeter? So 1 meter cube, but it means that when I move it, and okay, so 1 UU is 1 centimeter. Okay, that's another thing to get used to then. So 1 unit here, you have to think centimeters. I don't have any problems with that, of course. Well, I do have, because 1 meter is simpler, but as long as I know it, okay, that makes sense. So the scale of that is fine. We've got the little spaceship there. So I'm going to get this thing to move now. How come I've got so many spaceships in here? So I'm going to have the spaceship shoot this cube, I guess. So let's scale this thing up. And we've got R to scale. Scale this up. So that's going to be my target. And the spaceship is here. I'm going to just move the camera Alt key like that. So, okay, so window environment light mixer to add more lights, to have a window control multiple lights. Okay, so window environment light mixer. Window environment. Light mixer. Okay, it was one word. There you go. Okay, I don't really want to create skylights and stuff though. I really wanted to have like as if it was in space I could control, I think. So, I mean, I could try. I just want to see. Create atmospheric light. I want this. That's with us. Okay, I don't. It's a good tool though, but I don't need that for now. I don't think. If anything, I probably would have done. I'll have that directional light. Can I duplicate that one? Yeah, and then Control. Let's see. Control L. I'm going to have a little bit of an atmosphere. So Control L. And then I'm going to change this light to a reddish color. I want it to be weaker. And then this one, I want to have a little bit blue tint. And Control L, hold it. Control L. Okay, that didn't work. Control L. Okay, now Control L isn't working. Right, there it is now. Okay. But is it changing the red light? Yeah. Okay, does Control L only rotate the default light? I wonder. Oh, Avocado Fire. Thank you. Awesome stream. Thank you, Avocado. Thank you for your kind super sticker or your super chat. And I'm very thankful that people decide. Usually you come to YouTube to learn, not to watch someone else being like totally lost. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what I can come up with in the near future. Like how fast you can progress maybe from being this newbie. Maybe it's possible to get somewhere. Who knows? It's a bit confusing to see what the light direction is. Like, which way is it facing? Find that confusing to see. I'm guessing I should be able to change to local here somewhere. Lit perspective show. I'm guessing this is like the global view. But how do I change it to local? Local. Global, local. The one thing I do a lot in Unity, I'm going to say it wrong all the time now, is to switch between local view and global view. So now it seems to be in global. So here is it this one? There we go. So local view. It's this little globe icon, and it goes to what did it change to? There. So quite often it's good to have it in local view, so you see which way it's actually facing. I'm still confused because this gizmo thing, can I enable all the gizmos at once? If I hold it, can I do Alt? I want to have two gizmos at the same time. That's not possible. Okay. That's a shame. But I'm guessing it's facing. I've learned that X is the forward direction, so we need to rotate this one so it faces forward. This is confusing. Okay, so there's the red light. Red light, green light. Well, I'm gonna red light and a blue light. Want it to be weaker. And then a blue light. Oh, I've duplicated this by mistake. More blue. There we go. So, sorry if I'm missing the chat a lot now. Okay, so can I move this just out of the way, please? Then I want to switch back. Is there a hotkey for this? Control something. It's a Swedish keyboard, so that's a bit messed up. All right, so that's going to be my coloring for now. How do you center around an object that you want to rotate around in? Okay, F. So that's the same as in Unity. So you frame an object like this with F. Good. See, this is turning into a tutorial now. That's good to know. So now I'm going to do something. I'm going to get this thing to move. So blueprints, here we come. I have no idea what to do now. Let's go. Content browser. No. Blueprint. Cinematics. No. Content browser. Outliner. This is interesting. Feels like I'm on a different planet. Find in blueprint. Tools. Build blueprints. Find in blueprints. No. There's nothing to find yet because I haven't created it again. So normally I probably should have looked at some like a basic tutorial to get used to this, but it's interesting to see from a total, like if you just were to start up Unreal Engine and think, what can I do today? Not much. But we did have place actor, but we don't want to do an actor. Can I search up here somewhere? No, I cannot. Tools, so it's okay. I don't want to do it. See there. Have I missed it just here? Virtual assets. Normally I'd just go like if let's say I was instead of just looking like this is how I would have done it, just so you know, like when I'm learning something, instead of looking at a full tutorial, sometimes I grab something like this and then I go like blueprint in Unreal Engine 5 create, and then I just look here and try to figure out, okay, so I'd probably end up in a tutorial in the end anyway, but creating a blueprint I'd probably look at. And I'd look here, add new. Okay, this is the old UI I remember from 4, but add new from content browser. So go content browser, add blueprint. Okay, so Blueprint class, blueprint interface, function library. Okay, blueprint class. Common, an actor is an object that can be placed or spawned in the world. Okay, a pawn is an actor that can be possessed and receive input from a controller. So I want to be a pawn so far. Character, ability to walk. I don't want to walk. So player controller, actor responsible for controlling a pawn. So a pawn is an actor that can be possessed. Okay, I like the sound of that. So I would have guessed that I needed that one. And we got spaceship. A pawn. Can I drag that onto there? Yeah, could. But it did. They just added it into the scene. Okay. So then I'd probably go again like this. Just don't switch. Let's see. So I'm just going to go blueprint in Unreal Engine control object. Just so you get an idea of how I'd normally do. Like I'll just Google it over and over again. So blueprint overview, control rig, okay, flow control. Blueprint visual scripting 404 not found. So I guess it's changing a little bit now with the blueprint overview. All right, I'm going to consult the chat instead, but normally I'd just look at that and go, okay, so how do I get something to move? 100, okay, so Google everything. 100 answers in the chat. So I wanted to see, just give it a little bit of an insight before I checked in the chat, because usually when you try something, either you follow a tutorial or I just play around with it and then I just Google everything all the time. I just go, okay, how do I do that? Create a blueprint. Okay, because then I have the luxury now of a chat, of course, that I can look into. So anyone else wouldn't have that luxury. That's just what I wanted to explain a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to scroll up now and see what to do. So look at this. Right mouse button in the content browser. Okay, so that was just to create some, okay, blueprint class, create basic assets, cool. And then we're gonna see, and right click. And we're gonna see now, browse asset, place actor. Oh, this is confusing. Attach to, oh. All right, let's go for it, let's see. Open the spaceship pawn you created by double clicking it, okay. So here I am in some sort of a blueprint editor. Wow, okay. I thought this was a spaceship. Okay, so coming from Unity right now, this feels very, very foreign. Right here, I was expecting a blueprint. Let's see, where do I do that? Okay, let's switch. I want to see the chat a little bit more. Open. So I've opened the pawn there. Create a blueprint class in Unreal 5. I've done that. There's a hierarchy, a pawn and actor with more functionality, and characters is a pawn with more functionality. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Add a static mesh component. Couldn't I not add the blueprint to this one? Because this one already has a static mesh component, right? Static mesh, here we go. So I would have expected to, like in Unity, I just dragged like a blueprint or a C# class onto an object. But that does not, or did it do that? Static mesh component. In the blueprint, you could click add and add the static mesh. Interesting. So can I not? I'm starting to understand now that apparently I can't do what I'm doing in Unity most of the time, which is just I create a mesh object and then I add the classes or the mono behaviors or something that I want. From what I understand, I just did something stupid there. Right, double click. Let's have a look. So we've got a bunch of stuff here. And where did you say? So top left of your pawn. click add for the static. Okay, so top left pawn there, add static mesh, and I'll call it spaceship, I guess. And then I should be able to grab that here, I guess. Sockets, no, here we go. There. And okay, so I should be able to search here, this spaceship static mesh. Okay, all right, so there's the ship. It's facing in the right direction. That's a good sign. Can I press play? What happens? Nothing. That's fine. I didn't expect it to really. Simulation. I have no idea what that is. Okay, so now I need to do something else here. So I've just, how do I get to the blueprint view of the, like what type of, oh, it doesn't have any blueprint stuff in it yet, does it? So window, compiler, content browser. Interesting. All right, let's go. Click event graph. All right, event graph. Looking for that now. Event graph here. There we go. Double clicked on that. Got in here. This node is disabled. Okay. This node is disabled and will not be called. Okay. It's fine. Right click to create new nodes. Can I do some input thing? Input. Get. No. Is shift down. Key down. All right. So how do I do a... is there such a concept as access here, which it is in Unity, I wonder? Let's see. Get key. I don't really want to specific. Get button access. Get or is access. There we go. Read the chat. I am reading the chat every now and then. Come on. Amazing stream. Like every time. I'm impressed that someone is actually enjoying it. That's good. How to feel lost in a new program, I should have called it. I am quite experienced in Unity though, which might not be very apparent here, but I would have thought, so get input, get access, is there such a thing? But turning, that's just get the forward direction. No, I don't want to do that. So input, I'm guessing. Let's see. You can close the simulation. All right, there we go, thanks. Right click. Maybe there's categorized nicely here. So maybe I recommend anyone that wants to learn Unreal Engine to actually look at some basic courses on how to do this. Get analog value. Target the Kismet input library. What's that? Is that what I want? What's a Kismet input library? I don't know. And I want to... All right, let's see. You can close the simulation. Event graph. Read the chat. Read the chat. Come on. You need to set up input first. Project settings. Okay. File. I'm guessing. No. Edit. Project settings. Let's have a look here. And then I'm guessing some sort of input. That's what I would have expected there. Input. Okay. And then we go axis mappings. So this is empty by default. Plus add axis mapping, I'm guessing. Didn't do anything. All right. Advanced. Is this advanced? No. Axis configuration. All right. Looks like I already have to consult the chat again here. Virtual keyboard autocorrect. No. All right. Axis mappings. Yes, sir. So I was right. I wasn't totally. But when I click this thing, ads. How come I don't see anything when I click it? Click, 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 click. Have I added like 500 different ones now? Here we go. Axis config. Mouse X. No. All right, so axis mappings and action mappings are your friend. Click the drop down. Thought I did. Oh, right. Ah, okay. So looks like I've added a few. So it did work. I didn't find a engine braking bug here. Let's get rid of these. I do have to check one thing actually. When I do that, oh, okay, so it was collapsed, but in my own defense, it didn't look like. Because it got some UI feedback here. Didn't like that. It didn't show me that it added something. All right, so okay, so can I do that? WASD keyboard. Okay, so I have to add these manually. That can't be right, can I? A. So keyboard, I would have thought it would be easier. So why don't these come predefined? There must be like everyone wants to use WASD, all right? Touchpad. Why is that on there? Touchpad. So any key. Where's the any key? Simpsons. All right, let's go for it. So make it move forward. Only use W and S back and forth. Okay. So try them both, but for me, Unity is better. Okay. You can click on the keyboard icon. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. And then, okay, so I click on there and do that. So scale 1, I guess I can do that. And then here, S. I'm going to do left and right as well. So click on the keyboard, A. Click on the keyboard there. And can I go, so scale, I'm guessing forward and then negative here. And then forward. And how come I don't see which direction it is? A is left and D is right. So advanced. Keep wanting to click advanced. Yeah, so it's a hassle, but once you've created the inputs, you can copy those into any new projects. Yeah, I'm just surprised. Please turn on Unity. Now, I need to learn this a little bit. No, UW to forward and back. You should have -1 scale. Yeah, which I do. Back. S -1. Okay, so I think that should be it. Axis mappings. So now I'm guessing I should get... Can I get... was that the one I was supposed to use? So right-click. Get axis, I'm guessing. Is there such a thing? Axis S? No. Okay, then it's... Get... Input settings. Get input. This is weird. Action mapping for attack. Type WASD. Okay, thanks. So go. Now I need to manipulate the transform, I'm guessing. So move, transform, get active transform. Can I do that? Target, return value. No. So target is actor. Is that my own actor? Self, yeah, self. So I want to move this thing. Is there something called translate? Translate. Nope. Move. Simple move to actor. No, I don't want to do that. Move actor. Okay, so move actor. Is it simple move to actor? AI. No, this is not AI. Move actor. Actor. Confusing. Add actor local offset. Okay. Add actor local offset. There we go. Target is self. So that's good, I guess. Axis value. And delta location. And I'm guessing I need some form of time, like a delta time thing. I'm guessing what happens if I press play now. Okay, I'm moving the camera. Is there an automatic move script on the camera? Chat is killing me. Yeah, me too. Unity to UE, don't get me wrong, but it's good, but Unity. You missed a step on the inputs. Okay, I'll have to scroll up here. How you doing, Martin Anderson? Yeah, I could be better. I'm totally lost at the moment. What you call it? You named the event when... okay, you named the event when changed the axis name. Oh, all right, okay. All right, okay, so is this the one I input axis was? That was mine. Okay, thanks. So things is clicking here now. It's a bit fragmented when I scroll back here. Search the name. Okay, that's cool. So when I create an input, this is interesting to know. So I created this one. If I would have named this something else, I would have gotten that axis here. So right click, I could have just, let's just solidify that in my brain and in everyone else's brain. I went to project settings and then theoretically, I wonder if I change this now, what would happen to that one? So we've got engine input, WASD, input. Just want to see if that automatically updates. All right, no, it didn't. So did I understand that correctly? That was input. Okay, so it picks the name, what it was called at the moment. So it doesn't have like a, usually everything that you name in Unity, I'm used to that it follows. So it's got like a GUID or a global unique identifier behind it. So usually the names follow along, but that's interesting to know. All right, so we got access value there. Let's have a look. I'm gonna go scroll down a little bit near. Whilst input is 2D, okay. It is 2D, but I want to move my actor. I've learned in the X direction, which is forward and back, and I want to move it in my Y direction, I believe is left and right? Totally weird. The white triangle line is the flow. Okay, so this is a flow. Execute. Okay, so when I click on this one, I need to flow connect that, I guess, and then access value here. Is that it? What did surprise me a little bit is that when I press play and I press left and right now, I have camera movement. Is there like a... It's actually throwing in a lot of camera actors and stuff. When I press play, I get a lot of stuff that I'm not really expecting in here. Check this out. My outliner is like this right now. And then when I press play, it injects a camera actor. Default pawn, I guess that's what I'm moving with. Game mode base. Game session class. HUD. Wow. Game network manager. I get a network manager apparently. I get something else. A game session. A game state base. A heads up display. HUD. Particle event manager. Player camera manager. Player controller. I did not ask for this, did I? Player state. Why or how am I getting all that? So I'm guessing when I press left and right, it's my camera actor that's acting up. And how do I release my key? Okay, so Alt Tab, I can go here because I'm guessing here now. When I move. Okay, let's get rid of this. Is it the pawn here somewhere? Let's see. I've got my default pawn. Just see if my logic works. Probably doesn't, but yeah. So my default pawn is moving back and forth, or left and right in this case, and there. So I want to disable a default pawn. Let's check out. You could create a new game mode. Okay, you should create a new game mode. Let's do that then. Let's create a new game mode. New project? No. How would I create a new game mode? Tools. This actually reminds me a little bit about what I was saying before, how I feel the different. Oop, I kicked the camera. How I feel a little bit the difference between Unity and Unreal Engine. It feels like Unreal Engine, coming from a game, I guess, like producing a game, it feels like it's very game oriented, that you have a game template that you want to create a first person shooter, you want to create a top down shooter or a vehicle. And it used to be like 99% first person shooters. I think they've added a lot more stuff later, but it feels like it's really geared into like being an editor for that type of game. Whereas the feeling I get when I get inside of Unity is basically it's like a blank canvas. There's no pre-template or anything. You have an object and you drag a script onto it and the thing moves. So in that sense, that's my gut instinct right now, how it feels like. Yeah, the pawn is in the scene here, but I think I needed to, let's see, in the content browser. Okay, so a game mode is a blueprint class in Fancy. Thank you, negative name. So game mode. Game. Okay, I don't even know what I was searching for. What was that? A game mode is a blueprint class in Fancy. Okay. New blueprint class. This is confusing. So. Okay, I don't know. Do I necessarily want to create a new one? So UE, we got brain check here. Wise words probably. The Unreal Engine has a game framework that is very opinionated and comes with a lot more features than Unity has. Yeah, it's powerful but also a bit rigid, and you are somewhat forced to do it how they like. Yeah, okay, so that sort of confirms a little bit how my feeling is. And Jonathan Svensson is also saying, I always confused how the UE XYZ orientation compared to Unity. I totally agree so far. Let's do some chat interaction here. No, the way you created your blueprint, there's an option for game mode. Okay, so nice. Okay, so I created it wrong probably. I'll have a look at that. And then I've noticed that editor for a game instead of just an editor too. Okay, so you agree with that too, Splint Lizard? And I'm wondering if it's very opinionated templates or the actual heart of the engine. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I've seen Unity is heading in that direction. They're creating template projects for different type of games. So it feels like they're inspired to move in that direction. You're searching, right click to create. Okay, yeah. Right mouse button, blueprint game mode. Okay, so right click. Let's try it again here. Right click, blueprint. Blueprint. Okay, so here I was expecting someone saying. So, okay, so select blueprint instead of pawn. Okay, so blueprint class, sorry. Game mode base, is that the one? Did I finally find it? So game mode base defines the game being played, its rules. Okay, so, all right, there we go. So game mode, I guess. Double click. What do I have here? We've got game session. Okay, so these are the classes that were injected. I guess I can delete these things. So I didn't really want a default pawn class, I guess. Is this stupid? Should I not do this? How do you feel, crowd? Should I not do that? And I also didn't want to have a spectator pawn, did I? I want the camera to follow the space. No, I don't actually want to do that either. Okay. And replay spectator. The player controller class used when spectating a networked replay. Okay, I'm not planning to add any replays to this. And this one, okay, it wasn't even added to begin with. HUD class, I guess I want a HUD, heads up display there at some point. Game session, I'm guessing I want. If I'm gonna do it online or something. It's, okay. So input your spaceship pawn into the default pawn. Oh, right, okay. So default pawn class here is spaceship. Thanks. All right, is that right? Is that right? Let's try that. What happens if I press play now? Okay, it's still moving. It's still moving the camera. I thought, okay, so I probably need to drag this game mode in. It's not. Is that in here somewhere? How do I get this game mode now then? Do I drag it into here? No. Where do I set the game mode? So set game mode pawn to your, okay, which I did. And then you set your game mode as default project settings in maps and modes. Okay, so edit project settings. Okay. Maps and modes, wow. Okay, I did not expect that at all. Let's see, so default game mode, and I called mine game mode, that was stupid. So let's rename that spaceship game mode. Worst name ever. But I found it at least, so there we go. Default game mode, there we go. Let's try it. Is this autosave or something? I'm guessing so. Press play. Okay, now I'm inside the spaceship. I didn't want to be that. But I understand why. It stuck me in there because I put that as my default one. So now I want to put the camera, because I only wanted the thing to input there, but I want the camera to be up here. Is there like a spectator thing? Okay, this was very, very different. Nice, so now you need the camera and spring arm. And a spring arm? Okay, you can add a camera to your pawn. Your camera placement, yeah, on the blueprint. Wow, okay. So, how come? Okay, so I've got a static mesh in a blueprint class. I have to see that these are different. So that's got a blue line for a blueprint. Okay, that's the only difference there. So double click on there, game saying that seemed all right. My spaceship here. I probably did this wrong as well. So character blueprint. Oh, wow. Okay, spring arm is optional. Go to the ship blueprint and add it to the ship as a sibling. Go to the ship blueprint and add it to the ship as a sibling. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. I'm probably going to do... I'm going to watch the beginner course as well. So my gut feeling right now is that coming from Unity to Unreal Engine, my spontaneous reaction is that it's so different. I have to like change the whole way I'm thinking about things, like altogether. So my phone is ringing. Bye-bye. So that's my initial feeling, and using my normal trial and error approach, like how I learned Unity, is not necessarily feeling like there seems to be a lot of steps here that are very, very different to get used to. So I think I'm going to continue like learning as much as I can today. And then I'm going to look at some sort of a beginner's course and see how much of a leap. Maybe that could be a good reference or something for others to see. Like if you're considering to do a course, if I were to take one of those or something, like, so yeah, okay. All right, so a blueprint has a viewport. Everyone's like, so there's a brand new video on UE channel about 1.5 hours, how to make your first game. Cool, that's very good too. I'm just gonna read the chat a little bit more here. So we've got, you can view it in 3D space where the camera is and move it around. Okay. It's a lot of, got a lot of ideas here. Does he not want to follow the ship? No, I want to be on top of the ship. So I'm in this editor. I want to be right here. And I want to have, I just want a top-down view here. So I want the camera, I should be able to add, can I not just create a camera? Like someone said that probably. Right click. Create. Surely you can add just a camera, right? Intelligence. Can I add intelligence? Thank you. Artificial. No, I want proper. So camera. Okay, that didn't work. I thought you could just add a camera. Create a camera inside your pawn. Inside my pawn. And here's my pawn, right? It's this one. So I'm in here. Was it in here? Camera. Okay. It wasn't. Camera shakes. Camera. Wow. Okay. Very confusing. So it's not like a node. Is it up here somewhere? Assets or something. So I can create a camera inside of here, you're saying. Go to the ship blueprint. Add camera as a component under the default scene route. So ship blueprint. Add camera as a component under default scene route. Components. Default scene route. Default scene route. Viewport. Construction. I just have to get accustomed a little bit here. Default scene route. Oh, there. Default scene route. Sorry, I missed that, of course. Here. And do you add it over here or something? Add event? No. So I'm in here. I cannot right click here. Browse. No. Bad move. Here and cameras here. Very, very, very interesting. Camera. No. Nothing makes sense to me right now. Top left. Yeah. Add. Okay, I'll search. Camera. Oh! Okay, so I'm just gonna process this. So in a blueprint, there's another hierarchy, just like it is in like the scene itself here. I'm just trying to translate this. So normally in Unity, you'd have like a scene here with a camera that lives inside of the scene itself. Here, I've got a blueprint with a hierarchy of components, and I could apparently add a camera to the default scene route. Default scene route, and here is my... Okay, so I'm a bit confused still, like with the concept of having... Here's my static mesh component. So this is like a prefab in Unity's world, I'm guessing. So I got the spaceship, and I've added a camera to it. All right. Okay. Okay, so blueprints are kind of like prefabs in Unity. Thanks. That makes sense. So think of blueprints like prefabs. That's a big takeaway, I guess, then. So blueprint is, I've always thought of like the blueprints as the equivalent of a mono behavior or a C# script that you put onto an object. I didn't see the blueprints themselves as a prefab. That's a fundamental, big, important thing to consider here. Okay. So I've got a camera now. So I'm guessing I should be able to view this viewport. And I'm guessing I can move the camera up now, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is the local space for the camera. Can I see what the camera sees? That'd be very interesting. Window. And the camera is facing forward, so I'm guessing I have to pitch it down 90 degrees, and I want to move it up. There is going to be an issue with this, actually. And I'll tell you what that is. I probably would have wanted to put the camera in a different one, because now I'm guessing the whole thing of putting the camera inside of this blueprint, it means that it's going to follow this along. Maybe that was the whole idea with the spring arm. All right, so that's why they call them blueprint classes instead of just blueprints. Well, that still confuses me a little bit because... Oh, right, okay, so I see. So blueprint classes are the equivalent of the scripts or something. Or did I get that wrong? Maybe that's exactly what it wasn't. But you're a very patient guy, yeah. Well, you should talk about being patient. I think there's 302 concurrent patient people right now watching this stream. All right, so you need the spring arm to really control it. Okay, that's what the spring arm component help with. Okay, so do I put that on here? Do I right click here? No, I don't. I do add spring arm. Spring arm. Here we go. There's a spring arm. I mean, it sounds like it's gonna be one of those things. And it's right here. Location is there. Do I do length? Yeah. Target arm length. Can I visualize the spring arm somehow? Yeah, it's up here. Right. No, that's my camera. And do I stick the camera under the spring arm? Or something? All right, I'm guessing. We love you. Hossein, thank you. That's very kind. If you use a spring arm, it will follow the ship, though. Yeah, that's true. So I'm guessing, like, just listening to what the spring arm would have done, it's like a delayed lag, I guess. So, like an interpolation. So when the ship moves, like the spring arm, I'm guessing like an antenna or something, it just follows along. Am I right? Probably not. Oh, let's press play. Whatever. Okay, so I'm moving something. And I'm moving down. And, okay, so the input is actually doing something, but I need to accelerate a lot more. So let's double click. I'm going to get into, so I'm guessing like a multiplier here or something, right? Multiply. There we go. Axis value, can I multiply this whole thing? What is this component? Convert a float into a vector. Axis value. All right, okay, so I've done this whole thing wrong. Ah, okay. So I understand what I did wrong now. It's starting to, the coins are starting to hit the bottom of the vending machine here. So I've got input here. I'm guessing what I've done wrong here. Now, this is not going to work because I have to do just the front. I mean, sorry, this is probably what you were telling me. I'm just too stupid to realize it. So WS input. It's just, I can only have, it's a 2D thing. So I can only have two values. And then I'm guessing I have to do axis mapping. And then I do AD input. And then I'm going to do A and, oh, A. Okay, I could click the keyboard that I learned. A. Okay, A. And then we add one more. Click the keyboard and D. And then D is going to be our positive and A, I'm guessing, is going to be the negative. So this should make sense, right? Have I understood anything at all? So now I'm going to do delete that one. Shift A doesn't work. This is not Blender. Right click. And then do a WS input. So this is my input axis for forward and backward. And delta location, this is converting it into, so I'm guessing I have to assemble a component thing now. So I'm just thinking loud now. Sorry, you're probably saying in the chat, but I need to just figure out a few things here so my brain clicks. So right click, is it called a vector? I should be able to compose a vector, right? So vector right, I could do vector forward. Is there such a thing? Forward? Yeah. Okay, but that's a quaternion. Vector forward. And I'm guessing I can multiply these now. Multiply. So is my brain working the way I'm thinking now? So multiply a vector forward by the axis value. And here's going to be interesting because now I'm just going to do back and forward and then delta location. Well, here I have to figure out. Oh yeah, vector forward, and that's the X vector. I have to learn that in my, I was going to say thick brain, but it's developing still. I'm only 46, so still a long way to go to learn. So here we go. I've plugged a vector forward, multiplying it by the axis, and then we go. But I need to multiply it more, I think. So I should, can I magnify it somehow? So I'll do multiply again. And here's another one. Can I axis value? So I could have changed the axis value, I guess. But here I can type in, I want to have it 10 times stronger. 10 times. And then there. So I want it, and then we have to delete this one. You can have multiple inputs. What? Delete. Why can I not delete this one? Right click? No. Okay, why can you not press delete to delete this link? Click. Click, click, click. Hello, delete. Okay, it did work in the end. All right, so let's have a look. Press play. Okay. Forward, backwards. Oh my, it works. Amazing. So I should do the same for left and right now. Double click on the spaceship, and then we'll go vector right, I guess. Vector right, does that? Yeah, that exists. And then we multiply that by the same amount. Control C, Control V works for copy and paste. Nice. And then here, I'll do right click, and then do AD input. And then we plug this one, we multiply by 10. Hello. And then copy this one, Control C, Control V, multiply vector right by this. Can I plug? Oh, get AD input. Why is this? I got a different one thing, you know. All right, I'm guessing. A lot of guessing here. I'm guessing it's because. Okay, AD input. Here we go. Axis events, axis values. So I can get the value. I'm guessing I need here, because I don't necessarily want to have it. I guess I should always have it plugged in, because can you link two of these? Yeah, okay. So both of these can control when it executes. And then here I need to assemble a vector. So how do I set which vector this is? Didn't I say that this one was meant to be a vector value? Vector. So how do I combine into a vector? Let's see. Add another local offset. Yeah, it should be all right. So he is human after all. Of course, I'm human. This is how I learn stuff. I just try. Right now, both will be moving it forward. Yeah, it's because this one is there. But vector right, I would have thought that is the second component there. So I just need to combine these. There we go. So let's try multiplying again. Why is it? I would have thought X. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I'm. Oh, it's the multiply. I thought that was the axis that it was showing, but it's not. So these two now. There. Why did this expand so much? And now I just need to combine. Combine? Can I do that? Combine rotators. No, combine vector. I want to compose a vector from two different values here. Or add. I can add vectors together, right? Add. Add the forward movement to this movement. And then a delta location. Does that work? Left, right, forward. Okay, that worked, but the left and right doesn't work. So why doesn't it work? Okay, make vector. Okay, so add vectors. I tried that, but make vector. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting used to like what they name it. I think that in every spaghetti machine I try, it always feels that way. So in this case, I don't actually need vector forward here. And I don't need to multiply this one by vector forward. So, because instead... Oh, okay, I missed to plug that in before, I guess. I think that was the issue. You probably said that in the chat as well, but... It doesn't feel like the delete here works very well. I have to double click or something. So here, multiply this one by... why is it so big, this one? Why is it? My spoon is too big. I've expanded this amount. Let's delete that one. Control C, Control V. Axis value. And this one is Y. And this one is X. And then location. Left, right, back, forwards. We've got movement. Too slow, too slow. Is this frame rate dependent now? Do I need to worry about stuff like delta time here? Because in Unity, if I were to do this, it's very frame rate dependent on how fast this is moving. All right. Oh, Alt click to delete. Okay, thank you. Yeah, live and learn. So I'm a bit confused why the... And I'm guessing this is frame rate dependent. That's a very important thing to do. Okay, type delta. Delta. Get time delta. I'm guessing this is the one. Update context. That sounds very familiar. And I need to multiply this one by there, I guess. So we need to do another multiplier. Multiply. And I can do that on the whole vector now. Pow, pow, and there we go. So now it should be frame rate independent. Cancel. What did I do? Do I need to save blueprints? Control S or? Yeah, Control S. Are you sure you want to play in the editor? Okay, so I've got compile errors. Okay. That's how it tells me. So get delta time didn't like context. Anim update context. Okay, so I have to have a look. It's tech based. Okay, is Unreal free? Fill me in on the. I think it's free, right? Up to a certain amount of profit or something. All right. Okay, so delta time is already accounted for in nodes. Thank you. So it is FPS dependent. Okay, so it is the FPS dependent. So I got some conflicting. The way I interpret the chat is that it's a bit... Okay, we've got get delta word... Get world delta, okay. Let's have a look. Get world. That's something I have to look into quite a lot more, I guess. Get world delta seconds. So are you saying I should be multiplying with this one instead? No. There we go. Is that... Did I understand that correctly? So it's free when you earn $1 million, you have to pay 5% on your game income. Yeah, that sounds fair. Very fair. Okay, I think it is moving. Very, very little. So, and that's I'm used to because... and we're moving 20 centimeters over a second now. So we need to move... This should be 2 meters by second, if my math is correct. Yeah. So every second it moves 2 meters, and the spaceship is like, I don't know, 10 meters or something. So if we go up to here, we can do float, I guess. And here we go. We go select float. Now I want to like create a float. There's a lot of stuff. Here's why you know, when I do C# scripting, it's sort of faster sometimes because you just type like declare a variable and stuff, but then it's a lot of learning there. Well, how do I just define a variable? Can I do that? Okay, so how do I define a variable? You can add variables below the components. Okay, so below the components here, my blueprint is a here. Here, variables, components, plus. So here I want to do speed or something. A bool I don't want, I want to float. And this one, now can I drag this in here? Get speed, yeah, it's fine. Multiply it by speed. And then we want float, default value, slider range. Okay, let's set a slider range from 1 meter, 100 centimeters to, I don't know, 10, let's do it even bigger. So slider range. Okay, I'll put that the same. I'm going to check the chat in a second now. Let's have a chat in a minute. I just want to do... so now I'm guessing I can configure this here. Details, speed. How do I get the slider? Where's my slider? Hello. Class defaults. You got to compile it to set the value. Okay, so Control S. How do I compile? Do I press play to compile? Okay, so slider range is not applied. So compile. Where's the? Oh, there. Compile. Okay, so now I should have a slider somewhere. Are you saying? Speed. This, maybe I'm missing, it should be out here somewhere. Here I'm surprised. I would have thought that this is like declaring a serialized property in Unity or like a global. So I'm guessing, I would have thought if this equivalents to the rough thing of a prefab, why do I... Okay, so I need to highlight it probably. I double click on it still. I'm in here. I click on spaceship. Do I see it here somewhere now? Okay, no, on the blueprint far right at the bottom. Okay, so blueprint far right at the bottom. Is it down here? So I'm on the blueprint, far right, bottom. And I'm looking for something called speed. Input. Okay, then on the blueprint, far right at the bottom. Click your variable speed, okay. Oh, right, okay. Is this my slider? Ah, okay. Very not much like a slider look on this one. It looks like a text field. Okay, I have to get used to that then. So that should work then, I guess. 4 meters per second, it should move now. And there we go. Yeah, all right, so... Oh. Okay. The spring arm, I was curious to see just how that works, because I think that's configured not to work at all now, right? So I've got a spring arm. Do I create like some sort of a lag here? Target arm length, a damper or something? Or maybe maybe that doesn't work like that at all. Actually, I'm thinking maybe not. So, yeah, it's a text field though. I agree. So check lag. All right. Enable camera lag. Is that the one? I like how they called it lag. Lagging is always a bad thing. Okay. Whoa, it's like a spring. Now I sort of see what you mean. That would be very confusing to play with. But I see, like, if you're doing a platformer and you want that little lag movement, like, again, here's a really good example. So in Unity, you would code probably your own feature to go like a camera dampening script you'd write and, you know, follow player, or you'd use Cinemachine in Unity and have the camera create like a dive. And here it's like a feature in the spring arm here, just lag. Rotation lag. No, I'm not rotating anything. So I can do lag speed. I guess is 100 faster or slower? And max distance. So let's do 1 meter distance then as well. Let's try that out. Play. Okay, so 100 apparently is a lot faster. So if I do 1. Okay, I have no clue what happened. What was the default value? 10. Lag distance. 0. It was. Does that mean that it's undefined? Okay, so that's probably because I changed 2 things. Let's try it again. 100. Okay, that's instant nearly. And 1. Okay, there we go. So that's extremely laggy. Cool. Nice. Learned something new. 10 it is for now. That max distance was so small. Yeah. It's powerful, but slightly for more specific uses. Yeah. All right, I'm going to move the camera up. So by doing that, here I was wondering if can I see? Let's see. I'm in. Here's the viewport. Scroll out. A lot of mouse movement there. Can I preview what the camera sees somewhere? That would be very useful. Like a window here, viewport or something. Camera. I'll check the chat for that one. Yeah, so the spring arm is more of for a third person. I agree. Okay, so C++ is not that bad. That's cool. I've heard that, prototyping in blueprints and then converting it to C++. Good. Set the camera to 0. I don't really want to do that because I don't want it to be in the ship. I want to look at from the top. On the level, you can click on actor. Okay, and edit the spring arm. Cool. So you can. That's fine. You can in the scene, but sadly not in the blueprint viewport. Okay. So camera preview is like in Unity. You need to select the blueprint in the left window. I've got. Do I have a left window? Is it here or do I need to select it here? Or? No, place active. Why is this still open? Can I close that one? I could. Oh, I'm slightly confused about that apparently, but that's okay. So Swede here. Prepstorm. Swede here. Coding game dev tools in C++ and watching Infancia. That's good. I hope you're more productive than I am at the moment. This is, but it's fun. I just like to mess around a little bit. Okay. You are not seeing on the main viewport. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry. So I do see that. Is this live update then? So when I have the camera, I change it. There. Okay. Why is this not live updating? Okay. Okay, that didn't work. So I thought maybe it would be live update. Okay, that didn't work. So it would have been nice to see that on the fly there. Hey, McFly. 1500. I'm probably missing something again, but there we go. All right, so I've got my ship movement. I don't know if you should probably. One of the key rules in a shoot 'em up game is that you should not have any input lag, but this is not input lag. The ship is actually moving straight away. It's the camera, so maybe it's acceptable. Interesting. All right, so you should click on the actor. Okay, in the world outliner. Listen to this, Infancia. Why don't you just listen to what people are telling you? World outliner. It's an outliner anyway. Click the thing. There we go. And then select mode in the top. Ooh. So there. How come? Okay, I only see that in the play mode. Nope. All right. Why don't I see my camera here? Oh, okay. That's why I see 2 spaceships, of course. I shouldn't really have this in at all, should I? press play now, because it still inserts the ship there for me. So that's a thing, of course. So it's like... so, okay, now I'm starting to get it. Finally. So, when I created the game mode, I created my default pawn, which is the spaceship. So that's like spawning or instantiating a prefab in Unity. But it's a spaceship pawn that it's automatically instantiating because I've set that in this blueprint class. I've set my spaceship is my default pawn. All right. I wonder what happens if I explode and die and I destroy my pawn here. What happens then? Do I hide it instead? All right. Okay, now drag your blueprint ship into the scene. Ta-da! Nope. Okay, so that's that was the outliner. Into the scene. That's what you told me. Ah! Now I see it. So when I click it now... Okay. So the other one was just a mesh object. Okay. I get you. So now I can do... I see my camera here. And should this update on the fly now? Yay! Okay. Okay, so I see... Can I get a border on this thing? It's a bit difficult when I've got a black background to see. So, right, cool. Sound cutting out for anyone else? Ooh, hope not. All right, so finally. Yeah, you already did that. All right, let's have a chat. I've been streaming this for 2 hours. Look what I've achieved. Amazing, isn't it? But I have learned a few things. All right, so a few reflections so far. Very friendly people in the chat. Extremely patient people in the chat. Very kind. So that's really nice. Thank you so much. So patient. Incredible. So first, I've said it a few times during the stream. My first impression on Unreal 5, considering I've created something incredible. Well, the first thing is, when you create stuff, don't expect it to look amazing first thing. So I'm going to give a few tips now. That's when I started with Unity as well, even though I've got a long way to go there as well. Like, just accept that it doesn't look like the most amazing thing. Have primitive stuff just working and learn as you go, I guess. So my first impression so far is that I really like the way the UI is designed, UI. It seems like an incredible, like, more efficient use of space compared to Unreal Engine 4, the little that I saw. But again, I haven't used Unreal Engine 4 hardly anything at all, so I come in totally blind to this. The whole concept so far is, like, importing FBX was pretty straightforward. Just dragging the FBX in. I have to learn, here are a few key takeaways so far in my brain, is that X is forward. Very, very strange. But okay, I have to live with that. I like that you could import an FBX file and have it force the X forward. That seems very positive. I hope it works just as good for rigged characters. I guess I'm going to find out later on. So far that was pretty good. And then I learned a little bit, like, a blueprint is equivalent to a prefab, roughly. And the stuff that I've learned down here is that the content browser is equivalent to the project folder on Unity. And my outliner is similar to the hierarchy in Unity. You can click on this stuff and it selects it in the scene. And this is the equivalent of the scene view, but it's also the game view, right? Okay, so it jumps. It doesn't have the concept of a scene view and maybe it doesn't. And down here, the details is equivalent of my inspector. I've got the transform. I can move stuff just like I can here. I can move stuff in the scene. And then when I created another thing, I'm used to creating an object in my outliner or in the scene in Unity, in the hierarchy. Usually I compile my ship. So I would have, like, grabbed my FBX file. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing the screen now. So I would have grabbed my FBX file and pulled it into the scene view. And then I would have like configured it. So I'm actually going to show. Why am I showing my face? So I would have, let's see now. I would have, just a quick recap since I did the same thing as I usually do. I showed my face instead of the screen. So down here, the content browser I found out was like the project view in Unity. The outliner I found was like the hierarchy where you can select things and you see them in here. This is equivalent to the scene view. And when I press play, it's also the game view. Down here, when I've got something selected, this is equivalent of the inspector. So I can have my transform here, very similar location, rotation, scale. and some extra properties. I did like that the UI looks a lot fresher and a lot more compact, so it feels like I fit a lot more information compared to what I expected before. And what I was saying about the FBX stuff is normally I'm used to be able to drag in an FBX file into the equivalent of the content browser, which worked pretty good. And then I'm used to creating like the static mesh like this into the scene somewhere. Why did it not work now? Okay, so I couldn't do that, but I can drag it in there. In Unity, you can drag it into the scene or into the outliner or the hierarchy. In here, apparently you can only drag it into the scene. You're not allowed to drag it into here. No. So I'm used to like configuring in Unity, like I'm configuring, like I add my mono behaviors and stuff here onto the ship, and I add my like new objects and things. So it was a bit different for me to realize, or to be told by everyone, that what I needed to do was to drag or create a blueprint pawn class. And then I needed to set the static mesh instead of that one, which is what I did on this one. So let's see, where did I do that? I did spaceship, and then I had to like add here and do static mesh, right? Yeah. And then I could set my spaceship here, and then I could also add camera here and a spring arm to get some lag. And then another few things, okay, that I learned, it's a bit equivalent as well, and that is that I had to go to get the input to work. It doesn't come pre-configured as far as I know in Unity. So in Unity, or in here, I'll go to project settings, and I had to go to input. And I was a bit confused here first, but these are the these are axes, of course, so axis mappings. I had to click on the plus, couldn't see it first, so I had to expand it, and then apparently I had to have to create two axes. I should have called this one probably forward, backwards, or like vertical axis or something. But then I mapped W and S, and it just inputs the scale. I could have had the speed factor as well, but I like to keep the axes clean, just positive to -1. And when that was done, they automatically pop up here, which was interesting to learn. So WS input here could be brought in, and I could have gotten just a value, but apparently this event is pretty neat, because then I've learned that this little thing here, executor, will trigger that one. I'm guessing you can do, is there like an update executor or something as well? I would have expected that there's like a frame or a tick or something, event tick. Is this like every frame equivalent? So could I have done that instead, I wonder? I'm going to try to do that. So, and I've learned to alt-click on these, deletes them. I'm going to see if this works now. Alt-click on this one, that didn't work, so that one, select delete. I'm just going to see if that worked out of curiosity. Yeah, so I could have done that instead, apparently. So this would have read the input every tick instead. But I guess it also makes sense that you only like process it when either of these keys are pressed. So I've learned also that both of these events can trigger this add actor local offset, which is like translating the transform equivalent in Unity. And then I found out, I forgot how you pan around in a blueprint. Okay, right click. And then found out that you could add variables in the blueprint down here. So speed. Usually I'm declaring this in C# in Unity, so I guess with the visual blueprinting it's pretty nice. Like when you start, this is what, again, like if you're going to create a spaceship with some variables or something, I guess this is more like game oriented, straight out of the box. You just add your components here or your variables. So I could set the speed, and then I also learned that this one, when I've set it to a float, you can configure the range here, and then this is actually a slider, or you could type it in. That's what I learned there. And then I can drag the speed here. This is a multiply node. Learn how to make a vector here, which was very good. So I could combine the x-axis, which is forward and backwards, I've learned. And the y-axis is left and right, which is totally upside down and inside out, but I'll live with that. And then I multiplied it by the get world delta seconds. I'm not 100% sure if I gathered it correctly that I needed to do that. Or not, because very important to make a game frame rate independent. So if someone switched off VSync or something, you don't want the game to run super fast. I remember I used to play Digger on a 286 and it went at normal speed, and then I got a 486 and it was frame rate independent and it ran like lightning speed, so it was unplayable. So I'm guessing I should be doing this, so get delta word seconds, and this would be, I think it works because I got a very low value here. And usually, like if it's at 60 frames per second, I think it's 0.167 of a second, so 16.7 milliseconds. Might be wrong there. 0.0167 of a second. So that's why the movement got really small, and that's why I had to multiply. All right, and then it just affects the delta location. Very interesting. And then I've apparently learned, I was told by everyone who's so kind, that I need to drag. I deleted the spaceship that I originally created, and then I dragged my blueprint class in here. And when I did that, I can also select it here. I could reset the transform there. And then when I have it highlighted, since I have the camera inside of this one, it actually shows me the preview here. And when I pressed play, that camera spring arm did the little lag thing. I haven't done so you can shoot on anything yet. I'm a little bit confused where my actor is in the scene. How come? Because let's see, I've got this cube object here. Let's reset the location. This one is in origo of the scene. And I'm a bit curious to see why it spawns my ship so far away. And it also spawns another one. Okay, so this one I need to delete again because it's spawning me a new one. And where does it say where to spawn it? And that's in my game mode, I guess. So default pawn class. I'm guessing there's a concept of a spawn location. Chat, help me out. All right. Let's see. Oh, my phone's going off now. It's probably someone. No, I cannot take that. Right. But start position, thanks. Where is that then? Start position. Is that here somewhere? Advanced. I always think that stuff is in advanced. No. Player start. Player start. Okay, I get you. But where is it? Where should I look? Where should my eyes be? Player start. Is that somewhere? Oh, start your game. But surely you must be able to add that when you're not in play mode, right? It's an object type from the create menu. And where's the create menu? Is it add? No. Place actors. From the place actors. Okay, Windows. Window. Place actors. How come I find it so difficult to place actors? Here. Player. Start somewhere. Lights, shapes. Cinematic. Surely it can't be. Player. Okay, I can search. Player start. Wow. And I drag this in here. And I set it to 000. And then I press play. Yes. Where's my cube though? Oh, there it is. Why play? This is weird, isn't it? Why do I... There's like a thing called player start. They expect me to... What if you have two players? Two player starts. What happens then? It was on the second tab. It's a flag. Okay, thanks. This is very niche. Player start. What again? Like, what happens if I have three players on a local? What happens if I duplicate this one? Do I create an irreversible breakdown of a loop? No. What happens when you have two player starts? Oh, did I get two players? No. That was just my cube. All right, let's delete. But here we go. That's why I couldn't see my cube, right? Because, no. So this one, I would have thought now I should start right. Okay, yeah, I will do actually. Now I'll start right inside the cube, right? Where's my ship now? Hello. Oh, I started inside the cube. Let's play. Does it have a concept of not allowing that or something? Cube. Is it like a collider or something? Is it like a kaleidoscope? Why? So I've moved that one forward now. My cube is now in front of the spaceship, right? Why is it behind? Okay, so I'm mixing up because this is forward. Okay. So X, I've learned, is forward. So what are these things? You know, my lights. Player start. Forward. I should see a cube in front of me, yeah. Okay. Very rapid. Oh, okay. I'm still confused. Okay, so why can I... Oh no, Z should... Oh, Z should be up. It is, right? So Z is up. The blue one here is Z, right? Collision probably blocking. Okay, so collisions are something that's enabled by default or something. Physics, apply impulse damage, collision, generate overlap lens. Okay, can characters step up on? Wow, okay. Again, very, very specific, very game specific. Unity, I cannot see would have anything like that. Like there's no concept of a character by default in Unity. It's like you add a character controller and stuff and you have a collider. The collider is very generic. Collision event doesn't have any concept of a character. So collision presets set physical. But that's, I think, what could be potentially making it easier to create like a traditional clone style of a game of some type in Unreal Engine. So I'm guessing that it prevented me somehow from doing it. All right. Collisions are entirely different than in Unity. Okay, much easier, but you will have to get used to it. Yeah. Your viewpoint was just upside down. Yeah, cool. Thanks. The default shapes come with colliders as part of the static mesh, not a separate component. Okay, so yeah, because in Unity you have a mesh renderer, a mesh filter that renders, or a mesh filter that says which mesh it should be, which is equivalent to the static mesh, and then you have a mesh renderer that renders that mesh, and then you have a collider that could be a primitive, and that's a component. So that's interesting. Allow you to, okay. That'll take some getting used to, but I think. So wait till you start looking for ways to link camera rotation to the pawn rotation. That the needed settings are spread in like 5 different component inspectors. Yeah, you need to check the sweep node in actor. You need to check the sweep node in the add actor offset to make collision work. Okay, the sweep node, that's good to know. So in here, I guess, was there something called a sweep node? No. Okay, I misunderstood that. Sweep node in the actor offset. Oh, there, sweep. Okay. A bool, sweep. So how do you do that? Sweep. This is going to be extremely good. If I learn this, if I learn it good, so I could make a game in it, then I can truly advise, I think, people. I mean, there's probably a lot of people that can do it. I cannot advise anyone yet on why they should use Unreal Engine, because I don't understand it yet. But if I do learn it, I should do the similar thing to Godot as well. Tick the box. All right. Oh, is it just a checkbox? All right. Okay, that's interesting. So there's a checkbox in there. So now, does it prevent me from going in there? No. It does have a funky behavior when I go there. Like it warps through it. Okay, so it does spit me out. No? Okay, first of all, let's change the speed of this thing. So I select my... There. Double click on this. How come I cannot go in? Blueprint class, double click. Oh, okay, because it's open here. I'll go here. I want to lower the speed a lot. Let's type in just 1,000 there. Control S, do I need to save it? I don't know. Let's play, go. Okay, so it's doing something weird. Just like fires me through it. Interesting. Unreal has the Unreal gameplay framework. It's like batteries included, I guess. Yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, Mirko, hello. Welcome. Thanks for moderating there. Alex pushes you under it. Yeah, I'm just surprised that it doesn't. Is there an equivalent of a scene view? So like when I'm in play mode, I'm used to be able to see like from a in the scene view what's actually going on. In here I see what the game is showing me. But is there a concept of a scene view? Window. Let's see. No scene view. Wow. F8. I can press F8. What does F8 do? Wait. Oh, right. So F8 allows me to right click. Okay, so if I hold, can I move faster if I hold the... Okay, the mouse wheel controls the speed. So I'm holding the right mouse button. All right, so there's no scene view, but I can press F8 and go into something called something. What's that called? I don't know. But that's very useful. And if I press F8 again, it goes back. So F8, I can position myself. Okay, that's a very good finding as well. Or that's interesting. I do sometimes I use the scene view a lot in Unity, where I like to have the game view, and then I enable a lot of different things in the scene view, like gizmos and stuff, so I can see exactly it's drawing out like debug information for me. But I'm guessing that's possible here too. And sometimes you want to see that at the same time. This one feels like you're quite limited to see you go in. All right, but I mean, it's a limitation just that you have to get used to, I guess. Move into the cube and then press F8 to see if you are in or under the cube. Okay, so bam, there we go. F8, hold. I'm in the cube, but it feels like collider. Is it? It feels like the origo of my object is what's like determining if I warp through it. Now I'm not warping through it. This is super weird behavior. I don't think I would have expected this at all. Boink, 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 boink. I'll try it without the sweep node. I just want to see if that had any impact on it. There, bort is Swedish for away. I'm guessing it's going to be the same behavior. Yeah. Okay, so it's just... can I disable collisions? I'm guessing. If I select this object, I should be able to go here somewhere in the cooking. I always get hungry when I see that. All right, so static mesh component, edit in C++. But I want to open the source file for that. Okay. So there's an orthographic view, but it's completely separate view on its own, like 3D Maxers. Okay. All right, so possess and unpossesses pawn for scene view. Yes, collision tab, no collision. All right, so collision tab. I'm looking here for a collision tab. General. Actor. Can't see it. Physics, I guess. Collision. Okay, can characters step up onto? No. Does that make any difference? Is that what was causing that thing? No. And can I ignore here? No collision. There we go. Okay, that worked. Is there such a concept as the physics layers in Unreal Engine? In Blender we have, in Unity there's 32 physics layers, and you can control which layers should be colliding with which layer. So you have like a player layer, enemy layer and stuff. Okay, so also it would have been way easier to start with a character instead of a pawn, but you'll learn a lot more about the engine this way. Okay, so the character comes with a lot of this stuff predefined. Okay, so here we got the Paximillion. Yes, they're called channels in the project settings. Let's check that out. So, because I find them to be extremely useful, and they're really good for performance as well. In that you shouldn't, at least in Unity they are for layers. It's a bit mask that just decides which layers should be colliding with which. So edit, project settings, and we have channels somewhere. So is that under physics somewhere? Collision, channels. Okay. New object channel, new trace channel. Okay, 18. Why 18? I would have thought 16 or 32. You can't have 8. Okay, maybe there are some pre-built-in ones, of course. So you have 18 custom channels, including object and trace channels. This list of objects types. If you delete an object type that is being used by okay, something. Okay, so but that's good to know. So a new object channel. Could I do like player here? Default response. Overlap. Okay. Block. And I guess that's like colliding. And then new object channel. I'll do enemy. I don't know if this is how you'd necessarily use it. And then you sort of say something. Okay, so queer. Okay, very ragdoll. All right, I'll have to look into that. Okay, so we didn't get at all as far as I thought I would get to a point where I had quite easily just the spaceship moving, and I was going to add like a particle system for firing and do a collision event as well. But that's taken me 2 hours just to get to that point. But it does slowly sink in a few of the concepts that are different. What I think is really, really apparent is this whole thing that just there's certain ways that have come through time, how you do things like player start and where you configure things like the layers. I'm so used to them being up there and stuff. And the component system I found a bit easier so far in Unity, that you add components, you remove components, you'd add a rigid body or something. But with that being said, I still think that Unity would probably have a more flexible, like make any type of game type of use out of it that way. But I do think that if I got used to this one and I wanted to create a platformer game, I do think that all of those things that are already built into the fact that it's like a concept of a player, a character, and that you jump onto things, you shoot things, I would have thought that in the end that it could be that, you know, even speed-wise, that this could be beneficial in that way, because you're not really reinventing the wheel every time. That's why I feel with Unity you have to always, you can save your own scripts and download all third party and you have the character controller and stuff. But a lot of the stuff is like you have to reinvent a platformer again every time you do it, whereas I can imagine that it's a lot more drag and drop here. Not drag and drop, but configuring. Definitely have to reset your thinking, yeah. So let's go full screen. Thanks a lot for everyone who's stayed with me for this long. I hope you actually didn't feel like it was total waste of your time. So we got some spam going on. Thanks a lot, Mia, for deleting that. If you got any questions right now, I'd be happy to answer them. I can spend, I have cold coffee here, so I could drink a little bit of cold coffee and answer some questions if you have any. So it's a very interesting experience to have a look at this. I'm actually looking forward to playing with this a lot more and learning it. So do @Infensia if you want to type anything. Oh no, super duper, you missed it. Yeah, you did, but it's still going to be there. You can rewind it. It won't be perfectly live, but glad you're giving Unreal a proper try. Yeah, I'm not discouraged at all. I know that it's like coming from one world into a different one. And even though their objective is to create games in the end, it's just a whole different way, I feel, of thinking about it. And I've done the mistake of like dismissing Unity a couple of times in the past. I didn't used to use Unity, and people told me to use it. I looked at it and thought, this feels like a 3D editor or something. I didn't want to use that. I wanted to code everything from scratch when I made games. And then I gave it 2, 3, 4 tries, and I'm like, ooh, okay, this is really powerful. I can do a lot of stuff here. I don't have to do things over and over again. And I think it's just the same when you come into this engine. It's just like learning again. And again, I don't think... So I can program C# pretty good. It's still a hack and slash most of the stuff, and it's not beautiful code, but it works a lot of the time. I can do what I want in it. I think the benefit here is that, because if I were to go into Unity and do visual scripting, it would really annoy me, I think. But since a lot of the stuff in Unreal Engine, it feels like it's coming out of the box. You know, it's just a matter of dragging that object in it, like whether it's these type of different blueprints that are so commonly used, I think. So I have a good feeling that I could definitely, like, if I wanted to make a top-down shooter, if I wanted to make a platform game, a first-person shooter, of course, all of those out of the box sort of, I'm guessing even a top-down racing game, it would be fun to do like a low-poly racing thing to try in here. I have a good feeling that I could get to where I needed to be, but it's definitely takes some like learning again. All right, so we've got some more questions here at Inventia. So Avocado Fire, I had this exact I should read from the start here. Avocado Fire, I had the same exact experience with Unreal Engine versus Unity Inventia. Cool, good to know. I guess it's quite a natural reaction. It's like, it's easy to reject what's different in the beginning, but I've learned not to do that. So that's good. Highly recommend checking out the Unreal online learning courses. I will do that, Cyberwolf. It's going to be interesting to see. I won't stream everything because I bore the everyone to death, probably. So I will spend some nice... I've cleaned up the room here. I don't know if you can see. I'm actually quite proud of myself because I even like wiped off all the dust from the surfaces here and stuff. So I feel quite inspired too, and I like put the PC together. Everything feels nice, so I should like sit here, cup of coffee, and give it a go. So what are your thoughts on Unreal Engine? So I think I just covered most of that. Meow 1191. I think it's going to be, it's probably amazing and great. It's just getting used to how I can use it. I'm not going to stop using Unity. We're making line war in Unity. We're not going to be able to port that, and I don't think there's a need for that. And I think they both have their places. I think Unity is really good for multi-platform, a huge community, very versatile, do any type of game. But I think Unreal Engine, super performant, very good. A lot of stuff that's built in out of the box. And I'm really looking forward to trying that out to see what I can create in that. So it's going to be cool. So there's Unreal course for Unity devs. Interesting, Cyberwolf. I can imagine that like having that perspective, I feel like I'm translating a lot of stuff into Unity, and the further I learn in Unreal Engine, I think I'll stop doing that because there are two different things, but it's good to have those perspectives. And then we have some more questions here. Sorry if I'm missing a few questions. Do try to do the @Infancy if you want to ask me, and I'll respond to that. What's your thoughts on the material system? I don't know. I haven't used any materials. That's going to be interesting to try out. This looks very... Okay, my first response is super nice that it's just built in. I just double-clicked on the material. Oh, I'm not showing it again. So I just double-clicked on the material and got right into this material editor. I'm guessing material graph here, base color. I like this. I wonder if you can do like vector. So we got tangent, world offset. If I do like add here, I'm just going to check briefly, vertex position or something. Vertex tangent position. Can I add, like, get the position of a vertex or something? Is it like world position? Yeah, there we go. World position. But there should also be local position, right? Local position, yeah. There. And then can I add like a vector? And I learned this one. Is that the same? Make vector? Nope. Okay, so that's different. Is it called float 4 in here? Because shaders usually have float 4s instead of vectors. Make float 4, yeah. Ooh, okay, so it is quite consistent. So I just want to see if I can inflate like the mesh local position there. Normal, can I access the normal? Vertex normal world space. Vertex normal, can I get? Okay, so I don't know why it's okay. World space, so local position world space. Just want to see if I can multiply the world normal and add it to the world position offset. World position offset. So I've got vertex normal. I'm just trying to think loud here. Probably doing a bad job here. Well, I've got a vertex normal, which should be a float 3 or 4. Make float 4. Can I multiply that one? What happens if I do this? Just can I do that? What happens? Press play. I was going to see if I could just do something here. What happens if I do? Can I do? How do you define just a float value here? Make float. Can you not type in values? Oh, okay. I double clicked on that and got into here. Description, preview value. Okay, should probably look at this at some point. Can I double click back here? There, go back. Okay, that didn't work. So I can go out of there again. All right, so I expect that I like this a lot because it's just a matter of getting used to the... I've used, I shouldn't start so many, but shader graph, and I've used the Amplify shader editor. And I like just by looking at this, I think it'd be quite easy to get just to terms, because usually I do a lot of the world position or offsetting with the normals. I'll like to expand, shrink, and maybe warp things animated through the shader. So I think initial impression is that it looks very nice and compact and very versatile that way. It's going to be fun to try. All right, that's it. Let's check the chat out again. So we got Little Doom. Infancy, I think the massive advantage for Unreal is how fast you can block out the level and get a concept working. That's probably pretty good if you're going to do a game that is similar to like a clone or something. Someone coming down. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be really fast to do certain type of games in it compared to maybe. And we've got Sanjay. In Fancy, you can use Quixel for free assets and import them in. Okay, that's interesting. Dust. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I'm far back in the chat here. So we've got Cyberwolf. Hold 1 and press L and B to add a float 1. Okay, that's good. Thanks. Hold 1 and press L and B, add float 1 constant node and plug it into the world offset. Okay, let's try that then. Let's see. Hold left me. Hold 1 and press. Okay, nice. That was a nice shortcut. Hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. Like that. And then add the value here. Let's do, I guess this is in centimeters too, right? And then just drag it onto there. Does that do the X position then? So let's do, just wanted to see. I'm guessing it's difficult to know now. I should really, because I'm moving all of them forward. So if I do, like this should move the whole object forward, but it's not right. Pardon me. Like, no, okay, I might have done something wrong. Oh yeah, sorry, I wasn't showing the screen again. All right. Then I wasn't much to show on that one. So tip, don't edit the engine material functions, only copy them. Okay. Engine material functions, only copy them. All right. How is your game coming along? Mad Monkey says, really good. Really excited. It's going well. We're actually got a release date. Check out the release trailer. Search for Line War release and then check. It's going to come on 5th of May. So we're really excited about that. Pardon me. Gameplay. The hardest difference for me was Unreal doesn't really expose the dedicated physics tick like Unity does. No, there's no fixed update equivalent. Okay, wow. That's good to know. So when you apply forces and stuff in Unreal Engine, how do you do that? So if you want to add like a physics force, I guess the blueprint system allows you to just add the force, and does it take care of that itself? Pardon? Have you checked out Niagara at all in Unreal Engine? I guess that's the particle system, right? No, I haven't done that yet, but I'm looking forward to have a look at that. Let's see. And in Fancy, I guess you can use a float 3 to world offset in Exoad set. Yeah, I agree. That probably would have been straightforward, I think. So that's really soon. Yeah, Line War. Yeah, we've been working on it for 3 years. Yeah, today in 4 weeks. It's going to be exciting. The thing with we decided, funny enough, not to go with early access in the end. That's been a topic that we've been discussing quite a lot. And I also spoke to the guy who made Fireworks Mania. I covered that in a Christmas stream, roughly. I spoke to him quite a bit. And over the years, the early access concept has shifted a little bit. It used to be, I think, more used and accepted. And it also has to do with how Steam promotes the game when it's released, and they don't fully promote. It's difficult to know exactly what's going on behind the scenes with the algorithms and stuff. But an early access release is not promoted by Steam the same way, as far as I know anyway, as an early access game or like as a normal release. And it was also unclear whether the normal release later on will get the full attention after an early access release. And also common for games to get stuck in early access for a very long time. It's difficult to get out of it. And like, where do you pull the plug and say, now it's finished? And since we have over 30,000 matches played in Line War at the moment, and it's been stable in that sense, and people are enjoying the game in terms of like a multiplayer experience. And even though we're going to add stuff, we're deciding to release it as the proper release at version 1.0, if you want to call it that. And then it's think of it as Unity 1.0 was released. It didn't have all the features that it does today. Same with Unreal Engine and stuff. So we're thinking we'll release the game as the proper game, and then we'll just continue developing it. So we'll still push up updates. We'll add technologies, infrastructure. We'll add the new multiplayer modes, and then eventually some sort of a single player experience. So it should be fun. Rising goes, are you switching to Unreal? No, I'm not switching. I want to learn that too, and I think they both have a very good use case. Line War is going to stick in Unity. It's so much code and so much structure already done it, so we cannot switch that for that game. Maybe if it was a total rewrite in the future, Line War 2 or something, but then both me and my code dev don't really know about that. Are you going to try Megascans with a nanite system once you get a feel for the engine? Could be fun to try it, just to see what it can achieve. I'm probably going to... I want to go for more stylistic, like non-realistic stuff, but it would be cool to use nanite and the power of the Unreal Engine, and then just see how far I can push the low poly look with that. I think that would be super cool. So maybe there's an incredible amount of power that could be put into extremely detailed low poly, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but I think you can keep that stylistic look, but just add a lot more maybe depth content, or I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it with that. Free updates or DLC? We're still deciding on how to do that part. Some of them will just be added to the game, and then some stuff will be DLC-like. But all the stuff like the next unit that's coming, the different game modes, all of that is going to be like just upgrades, free upgrades of the actual game. Let's see. I don't know if I'm missing a few questions. I'm trying to do... I'm particularly looking at the ones that I've got at Infancy on them. So let's see. There are a lot of stylized games in Unreal Engine people don't think are UE projects. I can imagine that would be the case. I use process volume and LOT. Yeah. Okay, so in Blueprint class default settings, you can change tick to be during or after physics. Oh yeah, I did see that. You could change if you, what like pre or post tick. I saw that physics. All right, I'm a video game. We got Watson here. I'm a video game programming master student who will be heading into industry within the next few months. Fingers crossed. Is there any advice you could give for new people coming into the industry? Well, I'm coming in from the side really myself, so I might not be very good as a reference when it comes to like coming into the game development industry. I came from making. I worked on as a spare time indie dev for like, I don't know, 15, 20 years, just releasing small quirky games and selling game assets mostly. And then it's only the last 3 years that I focused full-time on creating Line War, so a new game that we're also doing indie dev. So we're learning a lot in the process. So my advice would probably not be so like going into the games industry in terms of working for a AAA studio or something like that, or like a highly profiled studio. I think those jobs are very niched. I'm working in games where like basically we do everything ourselves, everything from programming to game design to arts to sound effects to backend server infrastructure, Linux machines and stuff. So it's very different, I think, from we're living more of the indie like do it all yourself thing. So I think so if you're coming from a game programming master student, what could my advice be for that? I don't know if I'm qualified for that. But I will think about it because it's a fair point. Maybe since I do let's see, games. I don't even know what do they do. But I'm curious, Watson, when you're doing to become a game programming master student, is it hardcore programming everything? Or do you like use a game engine and do you do a little bit of everything, but you focus on the programming? It'd be interesting to know. Maybe I could give a better advice if I knew that. Oh, Engaged is here as well. Low poly characters with billions of triangles. Yeah, that's using low poly to the true potential. And we got Kira. And we got in Unreal Engine 5, most features have increased since UE4, but in 5, it's still buggy to manually change animations. Okay, that could be good. Alex Rack 2 Dev. No, I'm not. I'm learning. I want to learn Unreal as well. So I need to, and plus I want to be able to guide people which engine to use and when. From a very objective standpoint, if that means that you don't have any specific preference or something, can't remember. So Metal Galaxy, Infancy, I just recently found your Unity tutorial and it's so helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And hopefully one day I can do one for Unreal Engine as well. But I will update the Unity tutorial soon. I'm working on the whole script and layout of a new Unity thing. Or Unreal Unity 2022 instead. Okay. Okay, so here, gameplay. What is the Steam process like in general? What steps did you guys do to set up a deployment pipeline? Okay, my reflections on Steam is that it feels like a 1990s HTML page that's been hacked and added lots of features, so I find it very difficult to do stuff in there. Difficult to know where you change things. You've got like a storefront, a Steamworks front, you've got like a generic front of something, and you got loads of pipelines, and you can do a lot of store like ways. But once you get into the process of deploying in the pipeline, it's obviously very powerful and nice that you can push out updates of the game. You basically just like use the SDK and a toolkit, a content creator, and it compiles everything, uploads it, and then you set it to go live. So once you get a hang of it, it's pretty good, or it's very good, I think. It just takes a lot of getting used to. It's easy to do stuff wrong as well. So Cyberwolf as well. My favorite thing about Unreal Engine is the workflow, asset management, networking, and also nodes being functions, meaning that they are stateless. Yeah. So if networking is as easy as I'm hoping it would be in Unreal Engine, I don't know. But it feels like it's designed to easily implement multiplayer, whereas that is one of the major issues in in Unity. Did I say it right? In Unreal Engine, I think it could be a less painful experience, I think, because we've had so much issues, and the library, they deprecated UNet 3 years ago in Unity 2018, and then their new replacement for that, the Unity Transport, it went live in March. So version 1.0.0 came in March, poorly documented and very difficult and different to use and very difficult to get the information. And we don't know how buggy it is or anything, but it took 3 years to replace something that they had already deprecated. So I'm hoping that Unreal Engine is designed a lot more towards the sort of built-in out-of-the-box features that you need for. So, and then also asset management, I can imagine. Workflow, I can imagine as well when you get used to it. That would be super good. And nodes as well. A lot of the stuff is built in. Shader editors seem sweet, so it's good. Yeah. So I think that's it. Joined Unreal cult. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be in both cults. So I think that's it. You know, it's been 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 41 minutes. Plus I had a little intro. So it's been a fun time. I really enjoyed it. And I'm definitely going to keep looking at it. I'm really excited to see what more I can do. And I'll be producing a little bit of content for that too. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked the live stream. And put some comments in the comments as well to see what you thought was okay and what wasn't. It'll be fun. And I think I'm going to round things off there. And go and eat something. So I hope you had a good time. And thanks a lot for persevering. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. And I had a good time. So, and thanks for all the help, of course. I got tons of free help from you guys. Like it. No, I'm not joking. No, I don't. But it's good. All right. Until next week. Take care. And I'll see you then. Bye.